It's me. I'm here. It's time for High Rollers D&D. It's the man. Hey, it's me.
Hey.
I'm alive, and we're here to play some Dungeons and Dragons. Yay!
Yay!
That's the energy I want to hear. We're sorry, we're not Elden Ring, but we're the closest thing we can be. Here's my friends. Da da da. Dun dun dun.
Tom
I'm joined this
we
week.
Elden Ring.
Tom, I also kind of wish we were Elden Ring. I am joined this week by Rhiannon as Sentry, Tom as Keelek. We got Trot as Lucius. We got Kim as Nova. Sadly, no Katie this week. She's up in Scotland visiting some family and enjoying gorgeous countryside by the pictures she sent. I am sort of envious of her as well at the moment. I'd much rather be out there in the gorgeous countryside than stuck in the same room I've been in for 7 days.
Sequestered away.
Hidden away from the world.
He's not gone insane. He's fine.
No, I'm fine.
Why does it look like there's poo? Why does it look like there's poo on the wall behind you, Mark?
My poo wall. I'm working on that, okay?
It's art!
I've got my poo sack down here, and I've got my bottle of urine down here, and no, it's fine. Lovely discussion. But yes, so yeah, no Katie this week, as she's away visiting family. But we've got everyone else, and we're going to catch up. It's been a couple of weeks. We're very sorry about that. As mentioned, my isolation has obviously been one of the reasons. And then before then, I think we had tech issues and other people being ill. It's been a mess. The world's been a whole fucking mess. So we're just going to play some D&D and escape it for a bit.
I got some positive news, though. Sorry
what
to say
have you got, Chris Trott? Did you think of that?
No, I didn't. It just came out.
For your subconscious.
Yeah. Myself,
What's your positive
Kim,
news, Chris Trott?
Ree, and Tom were at the studio yesterday.
We were.
And
We
did
were
a
indeed.
big tech get together and set up quite a few things, which is exciting. There are some lights on the truss now, and there's more bits to do, of course. It's a lot of work. However, patrons, if you're out there, Tom is putting together the video of that day coming out
I will
soon.
do, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
He'll get right on that after Elden Ring.
I'll get right
after it.
on that. Don't you worry. Just after this stream, I'm going to do Elden Ring.
But I just want to let everyone know that we are actively... Kim was out
We're
today
making progress.
getting more bits.
Yeah.
We know
all
it's
day.
been a bit later. We hoped that we would have the studio up in February. Things like shipping delays, also little things like, you know, the way that we've designed certain things. When we got everything in there together, it didn't quite fit the way that we needed it to, so we got to make some adjustments, things like that. Fingers crossed, March. Fingers crossed. I am confident we will have everything together for March.
Yeah, I'm very
so-
confident. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Right after me and Ree come back from our gigs.
Yeah.
True. Yes.
I think that's why I'm not saying like first week in March we're gonna be there. No, I'm like March is a 30-day window that we can get it all
cool.
finished.
I mean,
you guys can finish your Dead Nuts tours.
first week of March
then-
as well is next week, Mark. It's not next week. It's not.
God.
Fair face.
Hey, look,
Oh
Time.
my God, it's so
time
soon.
is the thing. It's so soon. Before we go into anything else, Chris Trott is going to tell you about our sponsor this week. It's D&D Beyond.
What? Who'd have thought? Thank you
I'm gonna
so
shut my
much,
door.
D&D Beyond, for being an ongoing sponsor for this whole time. They've got a really sweet deal for you guys. Guys?
What?
Guys?
Folks?
I think I'm having a... My brain's
You're right,
melting.
bud.
I'm not... I had a nap
Guys
earlier.
is a word. What's the problem?
We had a big dinner and a big
Guys?
nap.
I just said it in a kind of Scandinavian way.
Weird
Anyway, thank
guys.
you. D&D Beyond. Everyone has their own dice ritual, do they not? Some players need thematic dice to represent their character. Others put misbehaving dice in a dice jail. Between February the 25th, that's
I
2
throw mine
days
at old
ago.
women.
Whoever,
Well, you put them in a toolbox.
however you cope with bad rolls, Tom, it's fine. Between now and March 6th, they're selling their premium dice on D&D Beyond for $4.99.
Digital dice. This
To
is digital
support all
dice.
of
You
your...
don't get-
It's your digital dice, yeah. Of course, they're D&D Beyond dice. The end of the sale on March 7th will also mark the retirement of 2 esteemed dice sets, the Archmage's Favor and Mythic. So, if you want to know more
Both
about
of those
that,
are actually some of my favorites. I
Very
really
cool.
like the Archmage's Favor ones. I use those all the time.
the retirement of those dice, however, will give birth to the Elder Heart digital dice set, crystallized green dice, Rhiannon,
Hello.
and living vines inside. Make the
What?
perfect dice set for a nature-loving druid, or perhaps a sentient robot that's from an old
Plant
war.
robot.
Plant robot. Wayfaring, yeah, that sort of thing. So there are new dice sets available, and they are currently very cheap. So go check them out on
grab
D&D
Get
Beyond.
those digital dice. It's very handy.
while you're
the
at it-
digital dice thing in D&D Beyond.
Yeah, while you're there, obviously, it's got the best method of finding source books and creating a character and the most amazing campaign management tools ever seen.
It's true.
So that's
Very
just
true.
a little addendum to the digital dice.
Just to
So,
throw it in there, make sure it's a real sponsor read.
yeah.
Nice, yeah. D&D Beyond, amazing. Go and check the link out in our chat. or in the video description. Remember, if you go to D&D Beyond, use our link, and then when you go there, and whether you do anything, whether you subscribe or you buy a book or you buy digital dice, it lets them know that we sent you, and that's a good thing for us. Not a sponsor, but speaking of dice, I do want to give a big thank you to Foxy Poxy Creations, I think is the username. They actually sent us, so they're custom dice maker in the UK or in the US, I believe. And they sent us a bunch of really beautiful custom dice. I can't really show mine off.
Gorgeous.
But they are gorgeous.
My camera's not good enough.
They are beautiful.
Yours has got
dice.
like flowers in them, haven't they, Century?
Like they've got like flowers, vines. It's got purple numbers, and then the 20s are gorgeous gold.
They're all custom to our characters,
stunning.
of course.
Yeah, what have you got in yours, Kim? What it's like yours is like just like space inside.
Blue,
isn't it?
gold, space, nebulas, like they're absolutely gorgeous. Like beautiful.
I think Tom's actual had real feathers in his D20.
Yeah,
mine had actual bird shit in it.
Katie's has tartan in it. Like,
Katie's has tartan. You can't really see mine, but mine actually has like a pocket, like a hollow in the middle. And there's actually glitter that moves around, sort of if I roll it around. You're not going to be able to see it.
So they're really, really well made. They're very nice.
These are really nice. And I just wanted to say thank you because it was a very sweet thing. They sent it as a gift for the new studio.
Yeah.
And Foxy Poxy Creations on Instagram. It's a really lovely gift. Thank you very much. It was really sweet.
Thank you.
And they also were they did the right thing where they contacted and said, hey, I want to send you this thing, but I'm totally aware of like shipping costs and things like that. Is it okay if I send it? And if so, I will cover like the costs of like any custom charges and things like that. Thank you very much. That's actually really appreciated when people send us stuff that they check that it's okay to do so first. So thank you very much. Big thank you on that. The other thing is we missed it because there's been a ton of stuff. Happy birthday, Rhiannon. It was Rhiannon's birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Mark. It was also Mark's birthday as well.
We missed Mark's birthday. We missed
February.
3 birthdays,
It's three birthdays in February, but and we missed them because of being
I think
off,
we should fight for the birthday, right?
Yeah, you should.
You can have it. I'm oldest. You two can fight. I surrender. I give up. I relinquish my birthday.
Fight.
Let's get in the ring.
Get the wrestling ring set up.
We've got the trust.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Don't. Wrestling is a whole other thing at the moment that's been going on in High Rollers. Anyway, is there anything else to mention? It's been so long since we've done this.
I have a little thing.
Go on.
So you may remember last year I did a special D&D one-shot with 3 black halflings where I played Shadow Beyond the Veil in their bespoke world. So we actually enjoyed our time together so much, we got the crew together to record 2 more episodes, which have now just been released on their podcast. So if you just Google 3 black halflings, I've retweeted them as well, on all your podcast providers, suppliers, purveyors, then and you want more Shadow and Veil in a kind of North African Egyptian setting, DM'd by Jeremy Cobb. It's amazing. On that top episode there, then do check out my tweet as well. Also has a link to the first episode that we did on Twitch last year. So there's 3 episodes in total. 1 is YouTube/Twitch, and then 2 are coming out on podcast, on their podcast. So do go check it out. It was a lot of fun. It was awesome to play Shadow again. Some very fun stuff happens. And Jeremy Cobb's world is amazing. You should check out their podcast anyway. It's so good. So good.
3 black halflings, very good bunch of folks, really lovely. Genuinely one of those groups that like I am very happy to encourage you to go and check out and go check. They're just really lovely people. And again, another sort of like lots of UK based stuff going on. So always good to support.
Yeah.
It's awesome to see more stuff. Yeah, very lovely folks. Jeremy and Jasper, we love them. Cool. With that, anything else, Tom? I know your brain is just tarnished one at the moment, but anything you can think of?
No, just don't waste those runes fighting bosses. Just keep on trucking. Upgrade those flasks. You're gonna need them. It's not about high rollers as well. Man, I've been up until like 5:30 every night. I am so tired. Let's
If
do
you
some
close your
dun-duns,
eyes,
though.
can you see the UI?
If I close my eyes, I'll fall asleep.
Welcome back to Aerois. Having returned to Horizon after their adventure in the Feywild, the heroes found it under attack by the forces of Zarkira, former commander of the Valkyrian Empire and arch foe of the party. Seeing an opportunity whilst the party was elsewhere, Zarkira sent her forces in one of her simulacrums to attack the Sky City and capture Vala, daughter of Callus Valkyrian and the goddess Siaska, and close friend of the party. After fighting through enemies, including upgraded mecha dragons, the party eventually reached the city's war chamber, where they were shocked to find Callus himself protecting Vala and her knight Maximilian from a horde of retriever and iron golem constructs. Joining forces temporarily, the party and Callus fought off the constructs and defeated the final simulacrum. After the battle, the party and Callus spoke, and they were still unable to convince him that his plan to defeat Hadar would endanger the galaxy. Things came to a standstill until Ayla, using a special coin given to her by the Fate Weaver Duskwillow, used it to have Callus see Quill's vision as well as the Web of Eternity. With a final cry, Callus disappeared, leaving the party with Vala and Maximilian unconscious in Horizon's war chamber. And that, my friends, is that's where we at.
That's where we at. How do we wake up Vala and Maximilian? Is it a magical?
You know that there was some sort of poison, because I believe Quill used Great Restoration spells to remove it, that was preventing them from regaining consciousness. The poison is cleansed. I mean, you could, in theory, use healing to wake them up now. Maybe?
So they're just regular unconscious.
They're just unconscious. They're not even injured. They're not dying or anything. They're just unconscious. They've been put asleep.
All right.
Is there still fighting going on outside?
Would you like to go and check? Right now, you are deep in sort of the base of the Citadel of the Reborn, in this war chamber, which is fairly deep into the island. It's kind of away from the main town. You would probably have to kind of move up into the main Citadel to see if there was still fighting going on, or magically communicate with somebody to check. If that's what you would like to do, Sentry, you can run up and check everything.
Am I still holding Vala?
You would be, yeah, because I think Callus kind of passed her to you, didn't he? And then
I could check. Tiangong can go and check and report back.
Okay.
I think
just make sure
we should
it's
probably
safe.
stay here, because if it is under attack, we need. This is a great place to hunker down.
Nova.
Hello?
What was all that going
What was
on?
all what?
This other version of you?
You mean Tiangong? And that Tiangong will summon again and reform.
What's happened? Is Tiangong...
Greetings, Lucius, Virion, Elwyn, Alanasto. We would like to remind you that you have seen us before. Did you receive an attack to the head during that fight? You seem rather concussed.
I am, yes. To be honest, I said I told Callus to shut up, and it felt really good.
No, that was fully deserved.
You did.
Yeah,
That was
amazing,
amazing,
awesome.
Lucius.
It felt really good. Anyway,
Lucius,
how are
You
they?
were also a rock backpack for a small period of time, Ayla will say.
That was quick thinking, by the way, with the arms.
Thank you.
Carryable, because last
yeah.
time
Would have made things very easy.
that was trouble. We had to
Yes,
put you
I
on
was
a
trying
plane.
to
Might have been bad if your arms had broken off, though.
That can happen.
I mean, maybe.
Oh,
Statues can break.
good
Lucius,
to know.
I wanted to say what you did to the Zarkira simulacrum, counter-spelling her, you tore her apart.
Please.
That was insane.
Thank you. I appreciate all the praise, but let's see if there's a war still going on outside.
Yeah. Okay. Tiangong, can you just go outside and check? And then in terms
You
of
realise saying that, Nova, you share the same thoughts. You don't need to ask Tiango.
I know, but it's still news for Nova, right? It's still new. And I think
But
Tiangong would probably say that, like, you do
Yeah,
realize.
that's what I mean.
Like,
Yeah.
Nova Vija, you do not need to vocalize your thought. Yeah, that would very much happen. But in terms of technicality, I'm using the Echo Avatar ability, where basically I can temporarily transfer my consciousness to my Echo,
Cool.
which means I can send Tiangong away up to 1,000 feet without being destroyed. I am deaf and blinded, but I can see through their eyes and
Like,
ears.
Nova basically kind of goes blue screen, or like you can still speak, but you're just seeing and hearing through.
Yeah.
Other.
Wait, as
other
in
form.
it teleports 1,000 away, or it's just
No,
it
it
can
must
go
physically
1,000
run.
away?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
It runs.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that a new ability?
Well, Nova just literally goes like stand still, maybe eyes rolling back in her head. I think, yeah, eyes rolling back in her head, and then this like new Tiangong Nova just walks off, like goes off.
Yeah, and you can still speak like as regular Nova, like you can still like describe what you're seeing and stuff like that. It's just like the familiar, basically. Like you can still speak. You're just seeing and hearing and sensing through that one. But to everybody else, you're kind of deaf and blind. I think Ayla would probably kind of stand behind you and sort of like put arms on your shoulders and like make sure like you don't fall over or something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, what do I see? What does Tiangong see? Tiangong
Well, it
Nova.
takes a little bit of time. So like, there's definitely a couple of minutes where the Tiangong is like running down the corridors, running up the steps, trying to get to a point where they can see, really. So if there's anything anybody else wants to do whilst you're waiting on Nova to report on that.
Sentry, do you want to help me bring Vala and Maximilian back, or wake them up?
Oh, of course. Yeah, I can try and heal Valor and see if I can wake her up.
Sure. We should probably let them know that they haven't been captured by the the spider things that grabbed me at one point, because they suck. They don't like those.
That was scary. But yeah,
Well, now
let's
on
wake
record.
them up.
Write that down. I'll just use a cure wounds on if Sentry is looking
I'll
after
cure
Valor. I'll
wounds
use a
Valor.
cure wounds on.
Yeah, sure. I mean, as soon as you
Maximilian.
basically restore 1 hit point to these guys, their eyes kind of do flutter open. This whatever this poison was that was preventing them from waking to consciousness, flushed from their system. 1 hit point is enough to sort of like stir them awake. Their reactions are dulled, but Maximilian is immediately like kind of like it's like looking around in a panic, as if he was in combat when he was knocked unconscious. Like his eyes dilate. He like reaches very clumsily, like his body's still sluggish and waking up. He reaches clumsily for a weapon. Valor is more subdued, and as she kind of like blinks her eyes open, she probably would just be like, Father, what are you doing? What? And she's just sort of muttering, but she definitely seemed to know that Callus was there with them. Or at least that's like what she seems to be saying as she wakes up. Maximilian, it like kind of grips the ground, but sees Quill, and he's just like, Keelek, Vala, where is she? And he's like looking around,
Maximilian, it's okay. There's no one. Well, it's just us here now.
The simulacrum, she's gone. Those creatures.
The simulacrum is gone. Starbane is gone. The creatures are gone.
Starbane? What do you mean?
Oh god, I don't know what you remember, or at what point this poison hit you, but
Her Majesty and I retreated down here into the chamber, thinking that the wards would be strong enough. We were being pursued by several of those spider constructs, the retrievers. We fled here, hoping that the wards would be strong enough to protect us, and then the simulacrum ambushed us. She fired some sort of projectile at me. That was the last thing I remember. I was trying desperately to stay conscious to protect Vala, Her Majesty, but that was the last thing I remembered.
don't worry, Valor is safe now, and every enemy gone, including the simulacrum. Lucius destroyed it completely.
We all contributed. It wasn't entirely me.
He went full rainbow.
At this point, Valor's
Rainbow.
sentry, Valor is kind of like you hear her kind of say like, Father, well, and then she blinks. She's like, Sentry? What happened? Is he still here?
No, he's gone. Starbane's gone. We rushed in here and it was a war zone. It was Zarkira's simulacrum was.
She was here. She took out Maximilian. and she opened that portal. I couldn't stop her. She seemed to have some sort of scroll or and a wand.
Scroll?
They were destroyed when she used them, but I wasn't able to stop them.
Okay.
It was a type of magic it was even stronger than any magic I've encountered before, beyond the ninth sphere. I don't know how she did it, but she conjured the portal, and then she set more of those things on me, and then I remember she hit me with the same thing she hit Maximilian with, ordering the retrievers to take me. And then that's when I saw him. The doors opened, and I saw my father. He I think he came to save me.
He did. As much as I hate to admit it, he had your interests at heart, and he was protecting you.
Maximilian, when he hears this, is like, the Emperor was here?
He was.
I must have looked foolish, being unable to serve in my duty. Being helpless.
Not at all. You served until you no longer were able to. That's very noble. You gave everything until you no longer could.
Thank you for the kind words, Sentinel Prime.
What any of us would do, Max.
Where do we stand now? Where are things? Is Nova all right? And Valor looks over like, oh my god, is she okay?
Oh,
I don't know. There's something wrong.
She's totally fine. Just her eyes have glazed over. By the way, Lucius, if you're worried about glazy eyes and colors in their eyes, I just want you to be aware that when you went full rainbow, your eyes did that too. So
What?
not really a problem.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I don't
Remember
like
in the
that.
tower?
I just point really, like, my fingers like inches away from Nova's nose. That?
Well, not exactly like that. You had full control over yourself. Nova right now seems to be transfixed in another place, but your eyes were glistening, every color. It was incredible. It was shortly after you told Starbane to shut up. I don't want to say that in front of Max, but
I would never.
I think Max definitely like narrows his eyes, but doesn't say anything. Valor probably laughs.
So long as you're okay, Vala. Are you feeling all right?
I feel woozy. Yes. Whatever they did to attack the city, I couldn't even teleport away. My rifts, my powers weren't working. How did you all get back here? We thought that when I couldn't teleport, that it would prevent you from returning to the city.
oh, luckily, I mean, unfortunately, it had to use all of the power of my tome, but I managed to push through whatever barrier they placed down.
That was the gift from Hesper, right? The Wayfinder's Guide.
Yes.
Whatever magic
drained
Zakira
in a
must have
moment,
used. Whatever, the fact that the Wayfinder's Guide had to use all of its power to break through whatever barrier Zakira created is worrying in of itself. That sort of level of magical power is immense. That's nearly she's rivaling a god's power, a titan's magical power.
The question is she becoming a titan herself, or is she allying herself with someone we are unaware of to claim such power?
Meanwhile, Tiangong has reached the point. It runs up to sort of like a long corridor with windows that look out. They see that there is still pockets of fighting, but the Zakiran forces are in retreat. That they are basically trying to escape, and the Horizon forces are shutting them down. You don't hear the sounds of the dragons anymore. You can sort of, you hear some faint cries and shouting, but it does seem that, the Horizon has at least won the day. There are still some Zakiran forces trying to escape, but the city is not in danger. It doesn't look like. You do not see the sign of the ship that you assume Callus had come in on.
And
Seeming...
I mean, is there any sign as well of like maybe the twin star longbow or anything like that?
Yeah, I think that you would probably see. I think that's like Thalia definitely would have been aiding in this battle. So like you probably see it kind of like shooting down some of the escaping transports, right? Like one of the Zarkira transports is trying to get away, and then the twin star comes swooping in X-wing style, and then goes down.
That's my girl.
For sure.
Yeah, so
Definitely
I guess
been helping.
down in the chamber, you'd probably see Nova's eyes kind of shimmer gold, and then she starts to speak. And when she speaks, it's that sort of voice of thousands, like the way that Tiangong speaks, voices overlapping, and then you can just hear Nova's in there as well. Stormchaser crew, we are pleased to report the Zarkiran forces are in retreat. The metal dragons are in retreat. Thalia Whisperwind, victorious in the skies. It appears we are victorious for now.
Okay, no, if there's anything to be terrified of, it's that voice.
That's really scary, right?
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Is Nova aware? Nova, you in there?
We are here. We can hear you. Lucius, Virian, Eluin, Elenasto.
Okay. I'm just going to step back a little. When you're wanting to come back and bring your pupils down, let us know.
We shall see you momentarily.
He's looking around for like that echo to come back.
Same chamber. Yeah. It's the echo that doesn't seem to come back. Go on, sorry, Century.
All right. They're retreating. Horizon are winning. This is great.
I do feel, as much as this is a great victory for this city, I imagine that Zarkira's forces were more meant to sow confusion and to erect this magical barrier. Her goal was clearly Her Highness. I do not feel that Zarkira launched as much force as she could perhaps choose to muster if she wished. I fear that this is but a taste of her power, of those loyal to her.
I'm struggling to comprehend the situation here. We bust through these doors to witness fighting amongst fighting. The confusion of seeing Starbane and Zarkira fighting each other and defending Valor, understandable, but there's one piece you're missing from this situation, and that's what Ayla showed Starbane.
Well, I think I did. I mean, I don't really know how the coin works. I just know that Quill did something with it, and something weird happened.
I think the look on his face was quite telling.
But we don't know what he saw. I know what I wanted him to see. I wanted him to see Quill's vision. I wanted him to see the web of eternity that the other spider lady showed us. But I don't know what that's going to mean to him.
We had
is he going to believe us now, or is he going to double down on what he thought before?
Well, either way, hopefully you provided him exactly what we have seen, and that he sees the truth in his predetermined future that he's deciding to charge down, which is to sacrifice everything. The world.
What exactly happened, Lucius? I don't quite follow what you're talking about. You showed my father something. Did you find a way to show him Quill's vision?
Yes. He wasn't taking our word for it, of course. And we had quite the discussion on that, and then Ayla came up tops with her coin. She was able to provide the vision for him.
I should make it clear, I don't think that it's my father doesn't believe you per se. I think he knows that you're all... I don't think he believes that you are all... I don't think he thinks that you are liars or trying to deceive him. I think that he has this belief that there's no way you could possibly know everything. And unfortunately, he does think he knows a lot more than you do. But if you've shown him Quill's vision, it could help. My worry is that it might make him even more desperate. If he knows that this one thing that he's believed in for millennia is not going to work. He's following this course of action. He believes that the world engine can stop Hadar, and I think it's because it's the only way he can see. I don't think he believes that there is another way to defeat Hadar.
The trouble is, we know that is a doomed course, and we have to stop it. You understand this, right, Valor?
Of course, but are we just not delaying the inevitable if there is no other way?
You want the world engine to be consumed by Hadar?
I don't know of another way to stop Hadar either. And if there's a chance that Quill's vision is wrong, if the world engine could stop Hadar, even if it means sacrificing Aerois, it would save so much more. I can't... It's not that I agree with him, it's not that I want to give up Aerois, but if there's not another way, I don't know. I worry that my father has invested so much of himself. He's believed in this cause for so long. This could really go either way. Either perhaps he will see that he needs to find another solution, maybe reach out to us for help, but it may also just drive him to become more stubborn. He may become even more desperate. I don't know which way this will fall.
Hi,
Sorry,
it's
Nova.
me again. I'm back. Hi.
Hi.
Imagine
Welcome
she kind of
back.
just wakes up halfway through that conversation. Hi. It's great to see you again, Vala. Hi. I've fused with Tiangong now. But if I could just make an observation. He mentioned during that conversation that he knew that Siaska was coming back. He said to us, "Why don't you ask Siaska when she is reborn?" So he seems to know that much. And if anything, I think he does know that perhaps we are right and this won't work. But the thing is, he doesn't want to use the thing that perhaps will work. And I'm sort of like awkwardly nodding my head towards Vala. As soon as we mentioned any hint of nod, that's when he got the most emotional.
I can see you nodding to me, Nova, by the way. I'm not... You know, I mean, the thing is I don't think I can defeat Hadar. Hadar is this ancient thing. It's fed on divinity, hundreds of gods before me. It had to be imprisoned away because other divine powers couldn't defeat it. I'm not even a real god. I'm sort of half, or maybe not even half.
You are
I
a
have
spark,
power,
though. You are a spark,
even
and
then,
every
one divine.
But every ancient being we've spoken to, Root Prime, others that I definitely have in my notes, they all said a spark of divinity is what was needed, and also you have us. We're here. Tiangong, you know stuff. Yeah. What?
Tiangong
Yeah.
will probably say, and obviously, like, sometimes I'll have to jump in as Tiangong.
Yeah.
But Tiangong, like the other sort of spectral blue figure that's sort of like standing beside Nova now, almost mirroring some of Nova's, body movements as she's speaking and things like that. It will speak and say something along the line of, I do believe that that the Stormchaser crew may prove to be an uncertain component in many of these plans and depictions. You are not divine creatures. However, you have overcome much adversity. You have withstood greater threats than believed possible. Even Hadar seemed to sense this about you when you encountered it in the islands before you were transported to Elysium. It may be that the key to all of this resides in your interactions, your connections with Vala, Callus, Siaska. You are unpredictable. You may be the element that has been missing.
After all, Callus is but a man trying to defeat a god.
He is a very powerful man, but yeah, it's difficult for me because I have seen a side of him. It's I don't see him as this mad tyrant. he has been kind and he has been generous, and I do see that he cares greatly for the universe. I think he struggles to see individual lives. I think that his empire, his long life has made it hard for him to see the things that we see. And she looks at Sentry when she says that. He doesn't see a city or a person or a kingdom. He sees in a bigger scope than this, and I think for him that makes it easy for him to justify one world, one city, one kingdom, because he's sacrificing that to save much more. That doesn't make him right, of course it doesn't, but I think years of this, of being alone, of having this burden, has made him, I think it's made him very callous. And she kind of like makes a face when she says it. To that element, I think that it has made him cold, unfeeling, but it's sort of an arm or a shell to cover up a vulnerability there. But that doesn't excuse all he's done.
I must say, like, in conversations I've had with him in the past, don't look at me, Quill, he has mentioned that he has tried diplomacy before. He has tried alliances and offering options, but in every circumstance, worlds have turned against each other and turned on him and asked for more, and I suppose that has coloured his opinion in some ways too, that it's just easier if he just does things his way rather than try diplomacy again.
I don't, sorry Vala, care about the individual. Callus Starbane himself. I care about the consequences of his actions and everyone else that's affected by him. I believe we need to steer Callus on the right path and prevent the one that you are fearing yourself of Callus, in that he's going to double down in his determination to fulfill the thing that he has set himself to do just because he feels there's no alternative. I want to see a real God. I want to see your mother.
I think that much of what we discuss here, I think Siaska may be able to answer a lot of the questions that we still have, or the gaps in our knowledge. Was there anything else that was there anything else he said or as part of this vision, or?
Lucius looks around really awkwardly. No, there, nothing. No.
That's not entirely accurate, is it?
We like some Nova thing to say.
I mean, I could tell her, but this is me we're talking about. I'm not good at this. Sentry?
I fear if I talk, I might start crying, and then I don't want to start a crying war.
Oh, it was a vision. I can't share visions. I think Ayla has to do it.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not talking.
What we know about Siaska is wrong. The annals of history are different than what actually happened. We saw a vision of Starbane with Siaska when Siaska sacrificed herself.
Vala kind of like looks at you for a moment. She sort of like thinks. And that does make a lot more sense. The way that he speaks of her, I struggle to believe that my father ever actually killed her. That makes more sense. It actually answers a few things. So
The tapestries are all incorrect.
The entire
Quill,
history.
I grew up in a temple of Siaska. I've had the doctrine of Siaska fed into me since I was a young girl. If you think that I have not been questioning those tapestries since I was 5, then you're a bit mistaken.
They're going to have to redraw them.
Well, I guess this is a...
Think of it this way: the
Embroider.
people of it's probably easier for the people of Aerois to believe that story, rather than a goddess doing something which even we don't understand. I don't understand. I don't think my father understood why she did what she did. So we have to ask her. We have to bring her back.
I agree.
Yeah.
We need that
And I
other
think also,
perspective.
Lucius, I think you're right. We need to keep the lines of communication open with my father as best as we can.
Did I say that?
Whether that's, I think Well, you did. You said that we should try and steer
I don't want to
him
speak to
onto
him.
the right path. Well, perhaps Nova or Quill or myself can, but if you have the opportunity to reach out to him, I would recommend it. Don't let him forget about this. Don't let him forget that you are people he can trust. You came to save me. He knows that he can trust you. He knows that you have no ill will. He knows that you aren't self-serving. He knows that you are kind of like he was when he was younger. Heroes.
He did apologize for threatening to kill me the last time I saw him. He did say sorry for that. Yeah. Maybe that's a step forward.
And he
I still
also
want to punch him in the face.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He also entrusted Vala's safety onto us during the fight against Arcera. So I mean that's also kind of a step forward.
I'm not
but
ready to
I don't know
forgive
in what
him.
direction.
We need to be careful.
I don't think... I'm certainly not asking you to, Lucius. I'm not asking anyone to forgive him. But just be open to working with him, perhaps.
For the fate of Aerois, an entire existence. Absolutely.
Indeed.
But
But
looking at
all me
Sentry,
telling him to shut up.
what he's done is unforgivable.
Vala, I thought I was going to kill him. Or at least try to when we entered that room. I didn't know what was going to happen.
Sentry. And she just sort of like puts her arms around you.
I'm sorry. I saw the way he held you, and it reminded me of Solvin. It reminded me of the royal family, how they did everything they could to protect Belle. And
I know.
for a brief moment, I saw a father. I saw a man just trying to protect his daughter, and that brief glimpse changed that second for me. I can't trust him. I can't find it in my heart to trust him. Not yet.
That's fine. And I wouldn't expect you to.
But
Thank you for
I
working
know
with
his-
him to save me. But I do
I know his
understand.
heart's in the right place. I know where he's coming from. We just need to change his direction.
I agree.
Be rational, like Nova. Take in the facts that we have provided and not be clouded by emotion. That's the worry. It's also the penalty of being a father.
I would
Because-
also say, in fact, actually, I think Maximilian would say this. I'd say, I do not wish to suggest otherwise, Lucius, but is being too emotionless not the problem that caused Callus to become the issue that you see today?
Oh.
Him no longer caring.
Absolutely. But has not what happened to him in the past also carved his path out as it has? Because of his emotions with Siaska and what happened there? I believe there is a knife edge that once you fall over, it's hard to come back.
I cannot speak to know the Emperor, but fear can drive us more than hate, more than love, more than anything. I was afraid to fail, Her Majesty, and that drove me to abandon things that I thought I held dearest in my heart, things that I thought I would never betray. But it was the fear of failing that drove me to it. I wonder if there is perhaps not some kinship with the Emperor in this. Perhaps it was fear of something that drove him to these actions.
Well, I know there's one thing that could smooth out that callous nature of his, and that is valor. So, we've got you, Valor.
Yes, for now. Yes, for now. I do have some good news. I'm assuming that the city is all safe and fine. We don't need to worry about any further attacks or friends being in danger or anything.
Well, there's still a little bit of residual fighting, but Horizon seems to be on the upper foot, hand, claw, one of those.
Good.
Sorry, a lot's happened.
No, it's good. I was obviously waiting for you all to return from the Feywild, but in some good news, I do have some progress to report. I'm very close to deciphering the location on one of the Titans. I think I'm very close to breaching where Kalara is located. But there's been something else. Velena, one of the other Titans, she's been reaching out to me. I think she might need your help, and I think she's willing to allow you into her domain. I need to meditate on it a bit longer. I need a little bit more time, but I think Kalara we will need to stop. I think that she's doing something dangerous, but I think Velena, I think she's more with it than we realized, and I think she needs your help with something good, or at least something not bad, I think. But that should at least give us 2 more of the Titans, perhaps.
I mean, we'd be fools not to accept an open invitation into a domain rather than stealing a boat and trying to break our way into one.
Indeed.
Just need to keep our wits about us, I guess. As long as you sense good things from her, and it's not a trap.
There's grief there. There's sadness and fear, but I don't sense madness like I did with Zephyr, like I do with Kalara. I think that they have both been... their grief and their fear and their rage have sort of distorted their essence. But Velena feels more like Sayana does. Sad, despairing, but still herself, if that makes sense.
All right. Well, we'll give you all the time you need, and we'll be ready to go.
It shouldn't be too much longer. Perhaps a few more days, perhaps, but...
Right.
I think I can lead us there. Once you're all ready, did everything in the Feywild, is everything all right? I'm assuming that you returned, so Thalia as well, and everything worked out all right in the end?
Oh boy. Oh, wowee. Did you know that Rosemeadow is a unicorn?
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, they're not called Rosemeadow anymore. They're Hope now. Hope,
that's
Hope the
cute.
unicorn. Yeah. She stayed behind. Yeah. We met some interesting people. A lot of them tried to kill us. None of them did kill us.
That's about standard for you lot. Yes, that sounds about right.
Zakira was involved in a way. Yeah.
Oh.
But we're back, and we didn't get you a postcard. We didn't get
That's
a
fine.
postcard.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
remembered that.
I can go to the Feywild if I need to go pick myself something up, but it's fine.
Speaking of
blue.
the grass,
The grass
is
is
blue. then.
blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Weird.
Amazing.
Blue grass. Strange.
But speaking of Zakira, knowing that she has the power to break through magical wards, at least beyond any power that we're able to conjure, we should probably figure out some better place for you to meditate on these titans. But I don't know where we could go that Zakira doesn't know we are there.
I must admit, I'm at a loss as well, Quill. I don't know if there is any other place to go. I mean...
yeah. I mean, is there a chance that she's been powered up by Hadar now? Is that it? Is she using his energy?
I'd
Yeah.
say
I don't
that
know.
is extremely likely given her reaction to the vision. She seemed to believe it, thankfully. But, I mean, we steered her in a very bad direction. Kind of me. I mean, mainly the brain sucky guy. Mainly him. That was his fault.
Let's blame
I wanna
him.
place
We blame him.
entirely on him. That wasn't my fault.
I mean, I don't think it's your
shoulders
fault that
over.
a mind flare probed your brain. I don't think that's your fault, Quill.
No.
Thank you.
Are there
We're
different
blaming the Mind Flayer.
levels of Hadar touch? Because, you know, the moments I've interacted with Hadar touch things, there's glowing red eyes, there's that impending fear of doom that all reality is going to be unwound.
But what we've seen are simulacrums. We haven't seen the true Zarkira, well, since I was taken.
That's true.
Max kind of is looking more serious. I have fought many Hadar beings. If Zarkira has truly, and from the sounds of it, if you've spoken with the Emperor, I have no reason to doubt that this is not the case. If she has made a bargain with Hadar, she will be one of the most powerful creatures to ever join him. Hadar consumes most of the worlds that it encourages, it finds. It converts the residents of these worlds, these planes, celestials, fiends, fae, other creatures, constructs. It converts them, it changes them, it warps their flesh into these amalgamations, these aberrations that it has under its command. But there are some. We sometimes encounter them, we call them Star Spawn or Star Seers, powerful spellcasters from other worlds that have made agreements with Hadar. Hadar gives them twisted powers, enhances their physical bodies, mutates them, but also enhances their magical capabilities immensely. These spellcasters pale in comparison to Zarkira. Zarkira is one of the greatest magical sorceresses, one of the greatest minds of our known world. Hadar will not. Hadar will use that. I can't imagine that such a process will be quick. If anything, we should have some time. If she sent simulacrums to capture Valor rather than herself, this suggests to me that she herself is not able to come. She would have come to grab Valor if she could have. I imagine that Her Majesty being partially divine would be something Hadar greatly desires. But I fear that when you do encounter Zarkira, and I say when, not a matter of if, but when, she will be a fearsome, fearsome foe.
Oh, good. I mean, she won't have backup. I think. Let's have a count. A head count on how many times we've killed Zarkira.
There's this one
just now.
here.
Yeah.
The one in the Feywild.
She may not have simulacrums, but that does not mean she will be alone. She will have Hadar's forces, creations, creatures, disgusting things like Illithids, Beholders, Astral Dreadnoughts, all of these things.
She has her own army.
She has her own forces, which I imagine have gone with her. Perhaps they will receive the same treatment that Zarkira will. This blessing of Hadar, these mutations, these grafts, these powers that it often grants to its followers. We've seen it before. In desperation, people turn to Hadar in the face of destruction. There are many who would choose to worship it, to join Hadar rather than be destroyed by it. We see cultists of Hadar frequently, and one of my early careers was to stamp out many of these cults and heretics on worlds. Even in Gideon Prime, we find cults of the Red Star. And they often have strange gifts given to them. Magic, physical powers.
I just can't keep character. This idea of Star Spawn is just the coolest thing.
Yeah. It's very, very cool.
You've been squirming in your seat for the last 5 minutes, Trot. I've been watching you.
It's a little bit, if you know Warhammer 40k, it's a little bit Tyranids, where like they basically suck up all the life juice of a planet and then spew out more Tyranids. And a little bit Gene Stealer cult there as well, where they sort of like, you get these human cults that worship the Tyranids, and they get all like weird mutations and stuff.
I'm all for it.
And then it's a little bit like, just like Dead Space, like necromorphs and stuff like that as well.
I love Dead Space.
Yeah.
Love it. Oh, she's going to be gross when we see her.
Well, I mean, maybe. You know, I imagine somebody like Zarkira seems to be quite arrogant and vain. She might not want to be completely grotesque. She might want to retain some form of form of beauty to her, but she's probably going to be pretty powerful.
Great.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
There is the sound as you guys are having this conversation. You hear like a kind of like a loud sort of thump of boots, and you hear a woman's voice just like, "Where are they? Where are they in here?" And then Danica, in tattered robes, like burn marks, rips and tears. Danica just sort of bursts in, hair sort of like flying all around her, flames in her hands. She's just like, "Where the bloody hell have you all been?"
Well, we were in the Feywild, and then when we travelled back here...
How did you get back?
We almost didn't get back here at all, but thanks to the Wayfinder's Guide, we managed to break through that ward. We almost didn't make it at all, but...
I take it that we have you to thank for the field being disabled and for the forces retreating, at least.
Yes.
We encountered Starbane, and we took out Zakira's simulacrum, who was trying to capture Valor.
Oh, just encountered the enemy that we've been fighting this time. You just casually just encountered him, did you?
Yes.
He was stood right there, actually, where you're stood right now.
Dispatched them. And
like Hades in Hercules, when he gets mad, the flames get bigger. Like that's like happens with Monica. She's like, God. Calm. Just and the flames kind of like die down. She's like, well, we have won. The forces have been routed. The dragons, irritating as they are, have finally been destroyed. Turns out you need to destroy their components before they reform, otherwise they completely heal. They have been destroyed.
Write that down. Write that down, Nova.
Yeah,
I'm writing it down now.
Nice.
Dragon.
Well, hopefully we never have to fight those things again. But
We probably will.
yes, my guard and I managed to take down one. There were some Valkyrian troops who destroyed another one. Seemingly some sort of inner conflict is happening. Some Valkyrian troops destroyed another. And then another one was flying about free. We believe it's fled.
Rather than go over the same information that we already have, Lucius will describe how our interaction with Starbane and what was revealed and stuff like that.
By the gods. What is this? What have we got ourselves caught into? I thought we had one enemy. Now we've got two? Or is Callus not an enemy anymore?
It's complicated.
Yes, I gathered that, Nova Vija.
If he continues down his path, we have to stop him. But our intention is to appeal to him, and that there is an alternative way, and find that alternative way.
So how do we progress? We have forces dispatched across Aerois. We've been trying to counter his efforts to recruit troops, to his to take cities. Do we continue doing that? Do we
yes.
let him gain a greater foothold?
No.
I think we stand as we are because we are uncertain of his next actions. We need to protect Aerois still, in my opinion. Until we make contact with him again and know his true intentions, I suggest we stay on high alert.
Yeah. While Valor is still here, we need to be ready in case Zakira may come back.
Yes. If not Starbane, then from Zakira.
Very good point. In fact, young Miss Valor, I would have you speak with Azaria Perel, see if you can figure out some way to prevent whatever that field was that prevented teleportation, that prevented us from communicating with our allies. We need to, if we can't have that happen again, we must find a way to prevent that. Perhaps Nova Vija, Kilakad Kalar, your services could also be rendered in this. You have a great mind of Magitech, Nova Vija. Kilak, your magic seemed to be able to breach it. Perhaps there is something that can be gleaned from that, a way to prevent it, perhaps.
Hopefully. Do what we can.
Not that I'm trying to give you orders. I understand that we have you to thank for saving us, but just from an organizational point of view, we need to figure out how we step forward with this now. It's all well and good, us having won this brief victory over what seems to be this Zakira, but we need to plan forward as well.
Do we also...
I'm glad you are all safe. Yes, please, Sentry.
The simulacrum had a scroll and a wand. Is it worth trying to find out what they were, what they do, how it
certainly
got there
if whoever has that knowledge can interpret it, I can have Azaria try and figure it out. Do we have this scroll and this wand? And Valor will turn around and say, like, Unfortunately, we don't, Danica. No, they were consumed when she used them. But as I mentioned to Sentry, it was a type of magic more powerful than I've ever seen, greater than even the Ninth Sphere. And Danica like looks at her like, what?
Yeah. What? 9? No,
yes,
no. It goes to 9, and then
the 9 spheres of magic. Yes, the power levels. But there were traces that what I saw of this magic being used when she conjured that gate, which I know to be a sort of a magic spell of the 9th sphere. It was more than that. It 10th or perhaps higher, but not that such a thing doesn't exist. But it seemingly was so.
I mean, if she's able to breach that too, then we should definitely try and find a way to do that. I'd hate to spread myself too thin here, but I could also use the Eye of the Storm and maybe try to discover what that scroll, what that wand was, or find some way to recreate that magic ourselves. Well, not ourselves, but as a collective.
Certainly. If you can do that, Keelek, Horizon will be in your debt, of course.
Right question. Just need to answer the right question and be specific with it. Any other not orders?
Rest. You don't seem to be particularly injured. Horizon is definitely going to take some time to recover and repair. Yeah, I forgot. Some of you. Were
14 hit points, just bleeding away down here.
Blood.
Right, I stand corrected. Some of you appear
My
to need.
spleen just fell out.
Rest and healing. I guess we continue as Lucius says. We continue as is the plan. We continue to defend Aerois. We try and stop Callus's forces. Perhaps we should keep a closer eye on Callus's forces to see what sort of steps he takes. If there is any change in his plans, it may give us a clue as to what he is intending.
Mm-hmm.
But now we also have to we have to watch out for this separate force who seems to be far more magical and more cunning.
Gross as well. Very gross. Lots of creations. Like
I will
one
tell
monster
my guards to be on the lookout for blah, blah, blah.
with another monster, cut them up, put them together. Zarkira.
Wonderful. Super gross. But also, we must continue with these plans. Do you still intend to pursue the Titans to reawaken Siaska? Is that still...
Yeah.
Yes.
You are the only ones capable of doing that, so focus on that. The rest, leave to me, leave to our allies, and we shall see.
Right.
But before we leave, can I root around where the Zarkira simulacrum was and, just be looking out for anything
Stick through the snow.
No.
Nothing?
You don't. This time you don't find anything. Unlike the previous simulacrums, who seem to be carrying a few magic items. There is maybe some residue, like dust, like there isn't ice and snow. But that's not where she was killed. You actually find that scattered around. And Valor will tell you, like that's what turned the scroll and the wand collapsed into dust when she used them.
Is it? This is Kim asking, is it worth examining and scientific forensic stuff, or is it just fucking dust?
Maybe. If
Okay.
Nova is if scientist Nova is like, I'm gonna get a test tube out and scoop up some of the dust.
You know I'm gonna do that.
Yeah,
I'm a friggin'
that's for you.
scientist.
Well, then
I'm getting a little vial out.
Don't ask me if it's worth doing. Just do it.
I'm doing it. I'm getting a little vial out and I'm scooping in the dust.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good. Yeah, and I think Danik will be like, yes, very good idea. Make sure you share that with Azaria as well.
I
Who
will.
may be able to identify it.
Putting it in my inventory right now. Dust.
Dust
One
of
vial
weird
of
Zarkira
dust.
stuff.
Zarkira's simulacrum's ashes.
10th
Oh,
level
weird.
spell scroll dust.
I mean, that does seem to be the suggestion of what it was.
Right, there.
Nice. With all of the NPCs fully briefed and having their say on everything, and obviously not wanting to play Ayla too much, I'm sure Ayla will have more to say next week. But what do you guys want to do now? What's the plan?
Rest, I think, first of all. Probably check in on our fellow people in Horizon, if whoever's here, like
Yeah.
Petal.
Okay. Yeah, Petal.
Was the Stormchaser here? Was that in the battle?
No, I believe the Stormchaser is in
Gusthaven?
Gusthaven. It might have been here. Probably what is more likely is the Stormchaser was off doing, huh?
Yeah, where do we put it?
Where's our ship?
Dude, where's my ship?
Dude, where's my ship?
I don't know exactly where it last was. Let's assume if it wasn't here, it wasn't in Horizon when the attack happened, either because it's in Gusthaven or it was doing some sort of riot and the crew were like on a job. You're
the DM. You can just say where it is, and we'll say, yeah, that's true.
There you go. All right. Well, I don't want to say that if then Kim is like, I've just looked in our notes and we did specifically in Horizon with orders to protect Vala. So
I think you'll find.
Yeah, then I have to come up with a reason of why it didn't do that. But for now, let's say, it was here in Horizon. However, Aerois and crew were basically off on one of those like missions to like help stop Starbane forces and stuff like that, the kind of stuff that we were doing as like a downtime thing of like spying on Vort and Sar and stuff like that. Aerois has been helping with that kind of stuff. They are not here now. That's it. Damn it, I've given it all away. Aerois has been Zarkira all along.
What?
That's why Ree was smiling. It was her character.
I was in on it the whole time.
Yeah. Man, what a fucking twist, though. Sentry is Zarkira.
Oh my god.
Oh, Sentry's mask comes back.
Oh my god.
No, the real spoiler is that Sentry is actually a full automaton, and inside there is a tiny man that pilots Sentry.
Oh my god.
Men in Black.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. Nice.
Can that be real, please?
No, not real.
Yeah, please. Oh.
Take your star spawn and like it. Cool.
Yeah.
Resty poos, I think, and also I guess trying to figure out where Vala could go if magical wards can't stop Zarkira, albeit needing a spell scroll to do it. Then where do we put Vala and Maximilian and anyone we like, really?
Hall of Eternal Doodads.
Infinite Resplendence.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to put Vala there where Siaska's body is?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
All right. What could go wrong? What could go wrong?
Nothing.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, long rest. You can all take a long rest. That's pretty easy. You've got your suite. You've got your rooms. I will tell you, Arvel and Petal both perfectly safe and fine. Nova's family, all good.
They're on Gusthaven. Stop trying to make them on Horizon.
That's right. They were. You moved them to Gusthaven specifically.
Stop it.
Exhaustion level.
Or are they?
Well,
Don't know.
It was more that I was like, oh, that's weird. Kim hasn't asked how her family was. I'll mention them just so that, like, in case she's forgotten. No. I had forgotten where they were.
I still have level 1 exhaustion because I had level 2 exhaustion.
Oh,
so only one level has gone.
You only get rid of one per long rest.
Only get one.
Per long rest? Really?
Yeah. It's tough.
Boy.
But also, I mean, you guys might just decide, we're not going anywhere in the next day. Like, we're just going to spend a couple of days in Horizon. Like,
I think we're kind of on Vala's time now and her ability to seek out the domain.
And I'm going to tell you right now, she's not gonna give you the domain this week. So no matter how much in-game time you spend, she still isn't ready. So
I think I think in terms of downtime, like if we're gonna do a little bit of like RP,
you've got
stuff,
like as much as time as you need, really. I mean, there's probably things you guys want to check up on and pursue.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want to RP this out, but Nova would definitely, if there was time, go to Gusthaven and visit her family. Maybe take Thalia there too.
I'll take you there in the Stormchaser.
No, we're not RPing this.
I'll come with you. I want to go to Gusthaven.
No. No. I also had another idea.
I mean,
I want to see the prince.
I also had another idea.
Moonstar.
I had another idea. Can I do the other idea first, and then we can see where we want to go?
It sounds like we're going to go to Gusthaven at some point. So,
but very quickly, Stormchaser team. I had an idea. you know, this whole, like, we've got to kill the Titans thing, and the biggest, baddest Titan of all is Artelicus, and he's kind of really scary and big. But also, Starbane made a Titan killer. I have a crazy idea.
I know what the idea is already. I feel like you could just stop there.
What do you think it is then, Quill?
No, but you've known me for... Okay. I mean, it sounds like your idea is steal a Titan killer, use it to kill a Titan.
That's better than my idea.
She wanted
What
to
was your
ask
idea?
for it.
No, that was...
Please, Mr. Starbane, please
Lend
give
us
me
your
a Titan killer.
Can I have a Titan killer for Christmas?
I've been such a good
Killer is for
insurgent.
Yeah. So yeah, we should find the Titan killer, get it, fight Artelicus with it. That's my idea.
Okay.
That's a good
I mean-
idea.
Granted, we have no idea where it is. I could find out.
No.
But if I find out where it is, we also need to find some way of attacking this thing. We saw how big it is from like sketches and things, sure, and visualizations, but it's huge, right?
It must be
Huge.
somewhere.
I loathe that I'm entertaining Nova's idea, but would it not make more sense if we're trying to find an alternative route for Starbane's path to at least try and ask for it?
It may alert him to the fact that we're looking for it, though, and then he'll hide it even harder if he
But
doesn't
this is
agree
where
with
the
us.
smart people come in and find a way to ask without us asking, if that makes sense.
Huh?
On our behalf, or something, I don't know.
I mean, he built a Titan killer to kill Titans. That's what we've been calling it, the Titan killer. Maybe we just let him.
Hold on a minute. If he knows we're killing Titans to bring back Siaska, and he's built a thing to help us do that, then wait, no, we've been over this. He's bringing the cradle down. That was it. That was it right there. Bringing the cradle down. Because if we,
He's trying to weaken it, yes.
We've been here before.
I was going to say
Right.
something, and I was just like,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no,
no.
no.
Yeah.
no.
It's okay, because
It's-
there's a really smart NPC here who's with us, actually.
Who's that?
The smartest one.
Who's the NPC that's here with you?
Starbane.
Danica's there.
Starbane? Yeah.
Danica? Danica's not
No,
smart.
why have I forgotten his name?
Tassadar.
Staff boy,
What?
Tassadar.
Tassadar.
Tassadar's here.
Tassadar.
Hey,
Yeah.
Tassadar.
Tassadar's not here. You can't summon Tassadar.
Hi,
at all.
Tassadar.
Can we have the Titan killer, Tassadar? Hey,
Wow, it's
Tassadar,
nice to
give
see
us
you.
the
It's
Titan
been a little
killer.
while, Tassadar.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
look
yeah.
great, by the way. Nice holidays you've been having.
Sorry,
around.
this isn't
Yeah,
this
yeah.
isn't
Rose.
bakers and blacksmiths. I'm not Rose Miller. You can't bully me into DMing. Tassadar isn't here, you fuckers.
Nice Hawaiian shirt, Tassadar. Where did you go
Yeah,
recently?
great.
Yeah,
You
nice.
know what? I didn't think the
Cool.
light blue would look good.
I
on
really
you.
love
fridge
this
magnet?
fanfic.
Wow.
This fanfic you guys are writing is really cool, but it's not canon.
Oh my
So
god, he got us postcards, but we forgot to do that. From
Oh.
amazing.
Oh,
That's so
we're
nice.
bad friends.
Love
We're
You know,
really
I
bad
wish
friends.
I was
moment.
there. I wish I was
Yeah.
there too, Tassadar.
Yeah.
Maybe next time
Yeah.
though.
Anyway,
Titan
Titan killing Tassadar.
Anyway,
Would you like to power it, Tassadar? Because you're a power source as well, so you could, you know, do you
that
want to
would
drive
be
out
ace.
in a big...
That would be so
Right?
good.
And Lucius stands up from the table, takes a cup off of the clattering cherry that Sentry's provided, takes a sip, and like, and that's what we would say if he was here, I'm sure.
thank you.
Yes. That would be nice.
Very, very well made into canon.
Lucius,
It
you
would
just
be
made a
really
lot of
nice,
noise
yeah.
so quickly. That was impressive, but also terrifying.
Sorry
That
about
was,
that.
it was amazing. I
Thank you.
love the way your mind worked.
I tried to include all of you there. Sorry for not including Sentry, but yes, I thought Nova would say this, and then Quid would be like,
You got it, yeah.
I mean, at one point you said that I would say something is ace, and I don't really think like that. but
sorry
that's fine.
about that. Yes, I thought I nailed your language, but I'll work on it.
Maybe next time.
Anyway, the impending doom of the entire reality of our
Oh,
existence is in
I
peril,
mean,
so
no, that is not
by
ace.
Siaska.
You know, it would have been really nice if for once we could have just solved a situation by just talking really nicely to someone and just having a nice open conversation. That is the dream, isn't it? You
it
know?
is the dream, and it requires both parties to be equally nice about the situation. So
There have been things that you've talked, and it's resolved things. It just doesn't tend to resolve big things. It tends to resolve small things.
Shout us a lot. Yeah.
I shout at you a lot.
Just no bad guys. Bad guys just like
Bad guys.
bad guys get a bad guy.
We shout at each other, and then
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
goes round and
You
round.
do
and
do
round.
that a lot. You do a
Yeah,
surprising
yeah.
amount of that, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, when they commit atrocities, I think it's warranted to elevate your voice a little.
Shut up. So good. I was quite taken aback when Trot did it because it was like really just out of the blue. It was like he was playing he was playing Lucius a compliment, and Lucius goes, "Shut up."
Yeah.
Like,
Shut up.
Whoa. Okay. Ooh.
It was warranted.
Are you going to choose to talk to Lucius when he's all fucking rainbowy and fighting?
How dare?
I'm
Look
gonna-
at me.
I'm
I'm
gonna
amazing.
I'm fucking
I'm gonna have an
busy.
authority figure try and like connect with Chris Trot. How dare I?
Try it out of a battlefield next time, Callus. When you've like,
Out of a battlefield, if you pay Lucius a compliment, he's like, oh.
Oh, me?
And Callus comes back.
Yeah, but in a
Try
battle, he's like, "Get the fuck away from me!"
I mean, Valor
I'm in
was
business
down.
mode.
Zakira was there.
Yeah.
Now's not the fucking
come on.
time.
It is now. In mid-combat conversations and compliments is the best time. That's the best
yeah.
time.
So it's the
That's
sassy
when you've got to
comebacks.
like. It's when you got to convince. You got to confess loves, and you got to like rousing speeches.
It's like,
You got to
bruh.
get anime with this shit. The man calls out his weapon attacks. Okay.
Plasma sweep.
Plasma sweep. Sweeping plasma cutter.
Bruh. Sweet move, bruh.
Yeah. I need Sentry to do it.
Bruh.
Sentry needs to be like Sunbeam.
Yeah.
Sunbeam.
We've been like that with Star Killer, where you're like, Star
Yes,
Killer.
well, Star Killer it literally is written into the item description that you
Oh,
must
okay.
call out Star.
Nice.
You must call out Starbreaker to activate it. It's written into
Oh,
the
Starbreaker,
item
yeah,
description.
yeah.
Anyway,
Should we take a break?
so we can take a break. We can take a break now. Sure. And then I guess like you guys want to do some planning, do some downtime imins, go back to Gusthaven.
Yeah.
I like to
Let's
go to
just-
Gusthaven.
let's
Use the
Let's
eye.
just go hunt down Zakira right now.
Fucking kick her up the butt.
Yeah.
Just finish the fight.
Yeah.
Easy.
Let's do
Yeah, my
it.
I need a
Keratin, let's
weapon.
go fly.
I'm
down.
giving
I need a
Zakira back
weapon.
her bomb.
Can we just skip to
Give me
the end and go
Sakura.
fight Hadar? Like, yeah, can we do
No,
that when we
that's-
come back?
It's the ending of the campaign is Quill carrying the world engine and riding it like a bomb into Hadar. I'm giving Hadar back his bomb. And then he crash lands on an alien planet in armor, and he gets saved because of the gel layer. So it's fine.
How
I'm
does
wearing Sentry armor.
how does Mark know our plan?
I become the tiny person inside Sentry's face.
Oh, for fuck.
Oh.
It's a little
And
cool
we say
plushie.
this. Out of everybody assembled here, Sentry is absolutely Master Chief, not Quill.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like it's the most inappropriate casting of Master Chief.
I'm Cortana at best.
I mean, I do
Yeah.
have Tomb of the Vistas, so
That's true. You could, you probably
Yeah.
could. Well, it's not as good now. It used to be like Mega Absorption Tomb,
Still
but now
don't.
it's not. Anyway,
All we need to
let's take a
do
break.
is speak to
Go on.
Hadar.
Yep.
Nova, for some reason, finds him very attractive, starts to reason with him and be like, you know what, he's actually not that bad a guy, blow up the Stormchaser again, and then be like, well, maybe we should just chat and figure it out.
two problems with that. One, I have a girlfriend now, and she's hot. And two, he doesn't have long black hair and black and purple armor.
We don't know
and
that. All
rippling
we've
abs.
seen
We
is a
have
red dot.
seen-
He's been described as
No,
a red
you have-
dot. That's
You have
seen
no,
him
you have.
in
Yeah, we have
someone
seen
said-
him.
We've seen him.
A
Yeah, we've
silhouette.
seen him.
Lucius and Sentry have seen him. Like they've seen a physical manifestation of Hadar.
Hey, what'd you see?
Yeah.
Was he hot?
A lot of
I'm
red.
into it.
Yeah, he was
Did
like
he
a
have
red
long black
Slender
hair?
Man.
Yeah,
No.
like mouths.
Yeah, no, I'm
So
out.
many
Slender
mouths.
Man.
Lots
Pretty
of
hot.
mouths.
Lots
I'm
of
out.
mouths.
Lots of mouths,
No.
So
Nova.
many. Yeah.
No.
Just like tons. Tons of mouths
No.
for kissing.
I just need long black hair and
No
rippling
lips, though.
abs.
Just
Come
mouth.
on.
No lips.
Oh.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
definitely no
yeah,
abs.
it's all just
His
teeth.
yeah, and his body's like Hadar's body is like almost formless, right? There's no muscle or definition. It's just like red.
No
yeah, tell me
abs.
about it.
No abs.
It's like in
So,
SpongeBob
no.
when Squidward takes the bite of the Krabby Patty and he does like the really like pushed out
Tiniest bite.
tiny teeth. Like that.
Oh my god.
Right.
We're
We're gonna take a break.
Yeah,
I
and
think
after
we
the
need
break, we're going to have more of this.
It's gonna be a lot more of this after the break.
An hour and a half
Um,
of this.
We don't want to push on without
Yeah.
the entire
Yeah,
party being here.
Yeah.
plans.
But we
Let's,
can have
like,
a
you know-
nice little. Lucius can't wait to go on a double date with Thalia and Nova.
Excuse me.
Oh, well,
Oh.
let's go back up a minute because that means you've got to ask Sky Prince Aradan on a date.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
true. This is
Mhm.
true.
And what's Quill gonna think?
I can see Fail. I can feel Fail out there somewhere. Just like,
I sense a disturbance.
Elves holding hands.
Oh.
It's all right, I'll bring Faith.
yeah, that's true.
Well, you
I
can
mean,
bring
yeah,
Max.
you can bring Faith.
I'll just
Well,
bring
you
a
bring
Yeah,
full
Sentry, you bring
table.
Max. Sentry, you
Like-
bring Max.
Whoa, Sentry and Max. Whoa, Sentry and Max or Quill and Max?
I got my.
Are we
Wayfinders
fighting?
guide.
Are we fighting for Max right now?
Everyone brought their partners. I brought books.
Excuse me, Nova?
Quill's that meme of the guy in the corner of a party going, "They don't know that I've got my cool eye," and then he's got,
They don't know I can see the future.
yeah, right. break.
I need a
Break
donut. I
time.
Yeah.
got a fucking donut to eat.
Yeah,
Eat my
I want to go
donut.
get a new drink.
Ooh,
Right.
that's a good point.
Who's
What was
doing
that?
stuff?
What you say, Ree?
I just remembered that I also have a cake. That made me
Nice.
Very excited.
I also have a cake.
I also have a cake.
Amazing.
Right.
Well, enjoy your cakes.
There he goes.
Oh, I could bring Elder Quill. It's like just bringing a dad version of myself.
I'll just bring myself, but old.
Hey, it's me. Hey gang. Hey, what up? It's me, your boy. You want some donations? I do. I'm gonna have to read some from. This is 2 weeks ago, before the stream that we didn't do. So it might make no sense at all, or it might make perfect sense. We had a donation from. Wait, what date was that? That's, I don't know, some point. We had a donation from Grandmaster DJ or Grindmaster DJ that says, "Trotty, my boy, we will have more of the outrageous segments when you get into the studio. I was rewatching, and when some of them came on, I could barely breathe. Mark's exasperation definitely helped, though. I forgot to ask on Sunday." Another donation from Grandmaster or Grandmaster DJ that says, "I had a dream about a fucking spell clash last night, but it was even more Pokemon than it was when you played. There were level masters, and beating them was how you got higher level spells. Tom, you were the rival that isn't really a rival. I was Red? I was Gary? Hell yeah. I'm into that. Remember when Gary had 10 badges? That's how fucking cool Gary was. 10 of the 8. Anyway, I'm into that. I'd 100% play some kind of spell clash. Why am I so pink, BT Dubs?
Trot did it, I'm assuming.
Is he gone?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool. I'm just super
It's just
pink.
left you this way.
Can I switch over to blue? No, the problem is my light is blue. I guess the thing in the back, I can't remedy this. Equestrian Drow donated with Clear Skies from Music City, Tennessee. Be on YouTube since the start of Lightfall. I'm slowly writing a spin-off campaign of Aerois where the party play as an elite Valkyrian unit that gets sucked back in time and discover some dark truths about the Empire. That's cool. That's cool. Reynard Pin has donated with "Gonna miss today, but I am curious if there are any internet personalities, YouTube or Twitch, you would like to have, / any more Yogs or Yogs adjacent that you would like to have on the show."
Yogs, ew, gross. Don't
I'm
want
trying to
any of them.
think of anyone I enjoy. Cracking the Cryptic, the Sudoku channel. I'd love to have them join us. There you go. I don't watch like anyone else other than those guys.
No, not really. I guess like
Um,
I've heard of like people who are nice, but I don't watch their stuff and I don't know them, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Captain Blackbeak has donated with a bit windy out, isn't it? Wait, was that last week? That was
Fucking
last
windy.
week during the storm. Viking Fungus donated with no message. Thank you very much. Echo Jewel, a half hundo. Is this today? This was today. Yo, where y'all been, you goobers? First time ever live for me. Let's go. Now that my heart is pumping, hope you all have a wonderful day. Oh, before I forget, happy B-Day, Robot Mum. Another message might be in your future, you dirty burb. Laters. Thank you, Echo Jewel. That was the first message from today. All the other ones were last couple of weeks. Rook Inferno has donated with, hey all, I've been really enjoying Aerois through the pandemic. Found out about you guys about a year ago. Binged like 300 episodes in 2 weeks and have kept up ever since. Hope you're feeling better, Mark. Much love to everyone. Holy crap, 300 episodes.
Ooh.
Boy, howdy. Thank you very much. Lycus Gaming has donated with, hey, I also had my B-Day on February 20th. Happy birthday. And was excited to celebrate with you guys because it was on a Sunday. But I understand things happen. Happy B-Day to all the B-Day people. I love you all. Well, happy birthday, Lycus Gaming. For the 20th, last week.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry we couldn't be live on your B-Day. I got the big C.
And one last one before I dip a room. Mini Noises has donated with, here's a haiku. Years spent watching VODs, supporting the high rollers. And now I watch live. There you go.
Nice.
That was legit. Thanks. That's
nice.
it.
Thanks, Tommy.
Thanks, Tommy.
Go get your drink or have your vape or whatever you're going to go do.
And thank you, D&D Beyond, for supporting us and sponsoring us today. They've got an awesome deal on their digital dice. It's a massive discount. Ooh. So go check them out, and there will be new dice coming out soon that seem very Sentry themed, and I'm pretty sure they made a big meeting to be like, Sentry needs their own dice set, obviously, on D&D Beyond. So they crafted this custom one for you guys. So look forward to that coming soon.
He's lying. He didn't do that. Yeah, but you should go and check it out. Don't forget the link in chat. If you want to go do anything on D&D Beyond, if you can use our link from chat or in the video descriptions, even if it's during the week, even if we're not live, and you're like thinking, you know what, I'm going to buy some of those dice. I'm going to buy some of those trot dice was talking
Can't
about.
buy me.
People can absolutely buy you, Chris Trott. I've seen Hat Film sponsorship.
I have a price. It's not very high.
A price. But don't forget, use that link, because if you do use the link and then you buy a book, like a digital book, or you buy digital dice, or you subscribe, if you've used our link, it does say to D&D and Beyond, hey, these guys sent me your way. I'm sorry I sound very bugged up. I'm ill. I realized how,
Master Wayne.
I realized how much like Michael Caine I was starting to sound like. Sound very bugged up, Master Wayne.
That's how sick he is.
Yeah, Michael Caine sick. That's it. So we got everyone back. Everyone's eating cake, or whatever it is that they've got. I think we got a couple of donors. We got a cake. Tom's just had a big old vapors.
Hoggers. Let's go.
He actually squeezed in 1 minute of Elden Ring. He like ran off to the side.
Fucking completed it. Amazing. What a game.
Actually, before we go in, like, speaking of Elden Ring and From Software, you should go and, if you've not checked it out yet, I do actually highly recommend going and checking out Dark Souls RPG playthrough that we played through on the channel. We played it with Ravs and Angry Tom. It was actually a lot of fun. It's also the reason I'm sick, so go and watch the video to get the views, please. So it was worth it, please. But it was actually a lot of fun, a lot of really funny jokes, a lot of deaths, as is fitting the Dark Souls brand. I actually really enjoyed playing it, and me and Tom, like, I'd be definitely up for running it again.
I'll play it.
I was saying to Tom, what I would love to do is do like when we're in the new studio, build like a big Dwarven Forge like dungeon map, and then cover bits of it up, and then have it as like a properly, like, you guys can explore it and stuff like that. Because so much of that game in Dark Souls is about the level design, and, like, you know, it is a dungeon crawler basically. It's like an exploratory dungeon crawling game. So
Maybe we could do it where like the first bonfire isn't disabled within about 5 minutes of the game beginning. That'd be nice.
Spoilers, Kim. Spoilers.
It literally happens right at the beginning. I've spoiled nothing.
I fucking knew it as well.
Unwatchable.
I fucking knew it, and I was just like, yeah, I was like, yeah, of course you can do that. Yeah, make
Yeah,
a
of
check.
course you
Yeah,
can.
oh,
Of course you
you
can.
take
Yeah,
damage.
yeah.
Yeah, you pull it out. Yeah, you're fucked.
We got 3 hours of this. Let's go.
Let's go. Hey. Right. If everyone's back, we got everyone back. Everyone finished their cakes.
Yes.
Audience, have you finished your cakes? Good. So we come back in the city of Horizon, having taken a couple of days rest, I guess, to sort of recover. The repairs to Horizon are underway, and yeah, life is sort of returning to normal as it can be in this junction of your adventure, with great threats on the horizon and things going on. But this is also a moment of downtime. This is the perfect time to do research, to use cool magic eyes, to buy magic items, to investigate things that you want to do, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so we got Spell Scroll and Wand Dust to examine. I can use my eye on that. Nova wanted to find out where exactly the Titan Killer is. I can use my eye on that. And
you also, the eye doesn't have to be the solution to everything as well. Like, you can just be like, we want to research this thing, or we want to, try and figure this thing out using our contacts and stuff like that. So don't feel like you have to rely on the eye for everything.
I might be able to use the Wayfinder's Guide, because I've regained 5 charges after that long rest. I could maybe use something like Legend Lore to, I guess, try and discover some route to the 10th circle of spells, which sounds like it will just draw me to madness. It will just consume me completely.
You must make a bargain with Hadar.
The only way.
Become a star spawn.
But maybe there is some way that we could discover some...
I'm right,
some...
aren't I?
I mean...
The podcast
Fucking
listeners,
busted.
I just spiked the camera with a very little smile. Proper, like, dead stare into the lens.
Office stare. Such a gym stare.
Office? Wait.
What else is there? Horizon getting repaired. And Lucius and Nova wanted to go on a double date. And Gus even.
What?
I think now's the time for Spell Clash.
Oh, we lost
Yes.
our moat. We have 0 moats, though.
That's true. You don't have your entry. You
I
don't
don't
have
have
your
token.
entry. Your
We
star
need to go
token.
find that dude again. Yeah.
I mean,
You
when
need
we
to get your
first tried
glove
to enter...
with the 5 stars, right, Ree? Is that what it was? In Yugi,
yeah.
you had to get the championship glove or whatever.
Yeah, but the first time we went there, we were nobodies.
Star chips.
This time we can just go down there and be like, so,
Bruh.
we need a ticket to get in. Do you know who we fucking
Hang on, wait,
are?
you want to fight us?
I've
Like-
got some bad news for all of you.
Oh, you're ready to
and that
die.
is
then. Okay.
in the face of Callus's proclamation, with the world of Aerois in war and at threat.
No.
Spell Clash has been cancelled.
No.
Across the world.
No.
Yeah, there's- yeah.
I should have killed him.
This is your fault, Sentry. It's your fault. You
know,
killed
it's
him.
on
We had
hiatus.
stuff.
It's not permanently cancelled, but it is until the threat of the world is resolved. Then, yeah, no Spell Clash, no Sky Joust. All of these recreational things are on hold.
I know we had a chat with Danica about like just staying on alert with Starbane, that sort of thing. However, could we get like a lowdown on our overall like war assets and that sort of thing that we had?
God.
Yeah. While Mark is
That
scrambling.
kingdom management ledger, real quick.
Yeah. While Mark is scrambling, I'd just like to point out that the last time we did Spell Clash
I've got
was
it. I've got it here.
2019. 2019 was the last time we Spell
Hell yeah.
Clashed.
2019. Okay. Didn't take me as long as you thought, because I've actually got it in a cool document.
What's so cool about it?
Danica will assemble you in the really refurbished and repaired war chamber, and will remind you that as things currently stand, Horizon is still a very, the Horizon Alliance is still very small. It doesn't have the power to sort of, really oppose any of the larger kingdoms like Gisela, or any of these other sort of like held territory, or Vortensar. You currently have you have a communications and resolve defense of 13. You have an 11 for your resources, which is like a sliding scale. Those things basically just mean that like those are your set amounts. Your war assets are, you have the Guardian Army, which, Sentry restored through the Prime Matrix in the City of Glass, as well as a force of Guardian Scouts. So the Guardian Army is an extremely elite, well-trained, stalwart defensive unit that is, not huge, but is also, better than most standard infantry. Like they'll be better than it. Yes, Christoph.
We also have the Wild Elf Commandos.
You do? Yeah. What else do you got?
The Horizon City Guard, of course.
Yeah, that's right.
We've got the Guardian Scouts as well as the army. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So you already had this information. So why'd you ask me?
I wanted to see the situation.
You wanted to test me. Oh,
no,
right,
I didn't want to test you. Just wanted to see if we could nudge some more blocks around and see if we can do something.
Yeah. Well, don't forget, you also have allies. You have the Druids of Mirskir, which is on the continent of Voxar.
Got the Dragonborn.
The Dragonborn, yeah. The Dragons and the Dragonborn.
Sky City of Gusthaven, of course, which we're going to be visiting soon.
And then you also wanted to try and aid the Grand Strategist of Zephen, and I believe you had actually sent a unit to try and aid them escaping their sort of their country because they were being held. It was like, they were worried about Callus and stuff like that. In terms of like where you currently stand, if this is just a couple of days after the meeting with Starbane, it's pretty much where it was before you left for the Feywild, right? So you had sent a group to spy on Vortensar. Like Nova wanted to establish a spy network to kind of gather information on Vortensar. That was being done.
Yeah.
You had sent troops to go and help. I think you had sent the Guardian Scout specifically to go and help this Grand Strategist. And then the rest of it, you were basically mainly focused on like defense and things like that, just generally sort of like keeping things protected. That hasn't really changed. You will need a much longer period of time, which we can kind of do. Like we can say that, like, you guys spend 2 or 3 weeks waiting for Valor to come up with like the next Titan locations and stuff like that. We can RP like going to Gusthaven and doing all of that other stuff, but we can then also be like, right, okay, well, the next month, these things are gonna happen. There are gonna be changes to stuff, and I do have a small update if that was the case. But that is gonna be after like 3 or 4 weeks of downtime.
Very well.
I think in terms of just a small detail, in terms of the Grand Strategist, I think we did actually rescue him because I've got it written down as a success.
Okay. Yeah. But I think that the way that works is like you guys rolled for it. It was a success, but he won't arrive and become an ally until the next phase, basically.
Okay.
Cool. I've got it written down here that Tassadol's here.
Yeah.
Sure, you do.
I've got that too.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. I've gotten it written down here on my hand. Tom suck D's nuts. So.
Oh.
You don't need to write it down in your hand. You've got the video. I mean.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Right.
Nova, when are we going to Gusthaven? Do you want to go now?
Well, sorry, I was just distracted there. A lot of white noise in my head. What?
Do you want to take the teleportation circle?
Are you coming? I was gonna.
I'm taking you.
Oh, okay. Wait, hold on. I didn't say these plans outside of my head. Did I? Or did I? Did I? Did Tiangong say this out loud? Maybe it was Tiangong. I think, yeah. I don't know where I begin and Tiangong ends anymore. Is that worrying? I don't know if that's worrying. It's probably not worrying. It's probably fine, right? Yeah.
Is this all meant to be out loud, or is this meant to be in your brain? Because it's all out loud at the moment, Nova.
I'd say that's pretty normal.
It's fine.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Right. What are we doing?
I'm going to take you to Gusthaven to see your family. I'm going to see my family. We'll check in with the prince, make sure everything's okay there with the war and all that. Quill and Sentry can come along as well. And then we'll all have a meal with Thalia.
Oh, Thalia's coming too. Okay.
If you want.
Yeah, sure. I'll have to ask her.
You two can go on a date and we can sit on the table with you.
What? Sorry, what?
I'll pay.
Huh?
It's the creepiest fucking thing.
Why are you there?
So creepy.
So I want to be there.
Okay.
Good for morale and all that. You know, we're going through a lot at the moment. I think we should all have a nice meal together in Gusthaven.
Yeah.
I'll take you to the
Friends-
best spots.
Friends together. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Sound good?
Yeah, I'll go. I didn't finish that sentence, did I?
You didn't need to. I know where you're going. Going to potter
Where is
about
Tiangong?
and you do want me to leave. I get it. I'm leaving.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. Let's go. What? Yeah. Where's Tiangong?
You are
Tiangong's just-
Tiangong.
Oh yeah. In the... I'm gonna go see Thalia. That's what
Two
I'm gonna
thumbs
do.
up from Lucius. Quill, Sentry, we're going to Gusthaven.
Do you need me to take you? Is this a book journey?
Oh, we can use the teleportation circle in Horizon.
That works too. Wait, why are we
Normal
going to
people?
Gusthaven?
I thought it'd be
I
a
wanna
good time.
Yeah.
Whilst we wait for
Wanna
Valor
see my
to...
mum.
Never was to see her family, her mother. I want to see my sister, Idea, if she's around. And we can check in. And it's Gusthaven. Wonderful food. I think this downtime would suit us well after what we've been through.
It'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can bring the chest, I guess. We're going to need the money. I mean, I get the impression that you only know the most expensive places to eat.
You have to pay?
Well, I've got all the money.
But usually just the... I'm confused. You go to these places, they provide the food, and then you walk out.
No.
That's
Not
how it works in
ever.
Gusthaven.
Not anywhere.
You're probably not used to our customs, clearly. You have several waiters standing at attendance to either side of you at the table. They provide you the plates and are on hand and on cue. And at the end of it, they bow to you and you walk out. That's the
But where
custom.
are you having these meals? Are these in your dining room? Like
We often bring
at
the
your table?
restaurants and the local produce to us, yes.
No, I suppose in this instance, we're going to them.
Yes. I understand.
I mean,
Yeah, so making it even easier for them. Why would we pay?
well, that's just how it's... I don't know, I'm young.
You're only two. You don't understand.
maybe
like going out
maybe
to-
Lucius is right.
No, it's like going out to see like a play or a show, but instead you consume sustenance or entertainment. You know, you gather around, but like it's like a social occasion,
I
right?
don't think people go to restaurants to eat for fun, do they? Like to watch other people eat. Do they?
But it
Lucius just said he wants to watch me and Thalia eat.
Yes, and then you can propose. I know a perfect place where you can do it. There's a wonderful balcony that overlooks the skyline of Gusthaven. It's beautiful, and at dusk you could offer, if you want to do it in the Gusthaven tradition at least, I can sort you out a ring. What's your ring finger size? And Nova, Lucius is going to do grabby hands towards Nova's hand.
No! Slap! No!
It's okay, Lucius. I can tell you afterwards. I can see it from here.
You can use the wish ring.
Do not not use the eye to
Quill-
guess my
no.
ring size.
Quill looks at your hands and like he begins to like measure the diameter around it on the ring finger. Like we see like a little dotted line of Quill's like brain. Like if I compare that to the size of a silver piece, and it's like then a silver piece, like it's like the scene in Sherlock where like things come up and like all the calculations.
You just hear a pop, and Nova goes invisible.
No, come on, Nova.
There's usually like an exchange before proposal, right? Where you have like one family that has to agree, and then the other family then also has to agree, and then they have.
I'm going out! Stomp, stomp, stomp. Door opens. Door shuts.
I don't think she realizes how loud she's being. She's very easy to follow. She's
I think
going
she
to
went
keep
over there.
stomping.
Quill, I think
Yeah.
you're being a bit too pushy with that.
I was being pushy.
Come on now, we haven't got time to waste. Let's go to the teleportation circle.
We don't know where.
Honestly,
Nova
this
just
party
went.
sometimes, and Lucius swishes his cape.
This century?
I thought we were gonna go watch each other eat. What happened?
No.
Yeah, what else was Sentry gonna
I
do?
wanted to ask Lucius what the cookery was like. This is all
I don't know, I'm not there.
dissolved. I'm gonna go make a coffee over there.
Ayla?
Don't look at me. I've not been. I literally have been staring out the window for 20 minutes. I didn't hear a word of it. I've been picking stuff out my toes.
Ew. Ew.
I don't know what the plan is now.
I don't know what
I
you were all
don't know
talking
what's
about.
going on.
So where are you going, Nova? What are you doing, Lucius?
Lucius storms back in, grabs his suitcase. It's like, I forgot this. Teleportation circle. Come on, we're going to Gusthaven.
Okay.
Chop chop.
Okay. Sentry's making a
now?
coffee. Can you get it to go?
I've got one here in a flask. It's really strong. But I'm ready.
I love the
ready to
idea
go.
that you've got like a little metal thermos, mate. You just carry it around. Can't drink it. You just carry it.
It was in the Matrix.
I'm really, really tired, guys.
Arvel will probably be like, "Oh, we're going to Gusthaven."
You want to come on?
Apparently.
It'd be great to get out of the city for a while. I think Pedal should come along too.
Yes,
I think
she
it would be
said yes.
good for all of us to get out. What about Valor and Maximilian? What about them? Shouldn't they be? We don't want to leave them on their own after what just happened, right?
Yes, we should bring them along too.
The more the merrier.
All right.
Yay!
Quill, can you send a message?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Valor
Thank
and
you.
Maximilian, right?
Yes, please.
Anyone else? Oh, wait, I should probably let Aradan know that we're coming.
Oh, if you wouldn't mind.
I can do that. Adea?
Yes, that'd be
How
lovely.
many more NPCs can we load up here?
Can you also message Aerois and ask if the Stormchasers around in case we need it at Gusthaven?
The
What about
entirety
Faith?
Or do you want
Stormchasers.
any of the? Do you want Faith to be there, or do you want to come with you, or like Howard and?
Be nice for
you
the
know-
crew to stretch their
Oh,
legs.
yeah.
Rain? Should we bring Rain along? Why not?
You're
He's
not
been
there.
timed.
You went off. You hush.
This is Kim. This is Kim speaking.
All right. Okay, that's fine.
Nova's
Obviously, it's
invisibly
Kim.
stomping through the streets getting Thalia, so...
Let us just say that through expenditure of Quill spell slots,
He's out of spell slots now.
Oh god.
spends them all, sending sendings. We can have in Horizon marching to the teleportation circle. We have Lucius, Ayla, Nova, Thalia, Quill, Sentry, Arvel, Ethel, Max, and Valor. All like this huge group makes their way because you are there, because Valor and Max are there as well. Like basically, the teleportation circle is briefly halted access to public, and you guys are given exclusive use of the teleportation circle. More for security reasons than anything else. They basically kind of lock everyone off, and then you guys come and use it. You arrive in Gusthaven, where you are then briefly met by the crew of the Stormchasers. Well, the main crew of the Stormchasers. So Aerois, Kamara, Faith, Howard, Lancian, Penny,
Look at
Greylano. lookout.
Wolf
I was trying
pack.
to remember all of. Well, the wolf pack. There's too many of them for them all to come. Kamara is their rep, but the wolf pack. They don't want to come to dinner with you. The wolf pack are like, no, we're gonna go find a cheap bar with like that. It costs a copper piece to drink in, not wherever the fuck you mega adventurers are gonna go. They're gonna go and do that. But the maker of the Stormchaser also arrive. Idea is there. Do you want Aradan to come with you? Like, what's the plan here?
Well,
yes,
I was sure that I would. Well, Lucius would want to catch up.
He knows. Okay, yeah.
And
And my
see how
fam as
things
well.
are going.
Okay.
Yeah, don't.
Yes.
Don't
Well,
forget
I was
my
gonna
fam.
get to the family as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that basically, there is like 20 of you. Like,
Lucius is head counting as they're going into the
it's like
teleportation circle.
you're walking through the white stone cobblestone streets of Gusthaven. It has this very, Gusthaven is this very sort of white, blue, palatial kind of vibe to it. Very kind of Grecian in sort of some of the architecture and the design. But you are making your way. Lucius is like head counting as he walks along. And you come to, there is a place, Lucius, called... The Gilded Black Bottle is the name of this restaurant. Often just referred to it as the Gilded Bottle or the Guild. And it is it is like a very high-end restaurant, like a kind of like brassiere, kind of like sort of like the kind of place that you would go and have a very nice wine, a very lovely meal, and that sort of thing. And when they sort of see you coming, more importantly, when they see the Sky Prince is coming, it is like they basically clear out the restaurant. They're like, you all need to leave now, like goodbye. And they set up an enormous long table that fills the northern quarter of the restaurant, which faces onto a series of balconies that look out onto the sort of blue sky and the skyline of the noble district and the palace of Gusthaven, looking out onto it. The table is laid with silverware. It is laid with decoration. And yeah, they are basically they are the owner, who is well, not the owner, but the sort of restaurateur, the kind of like not head chef, but like the what do they call it? The head of the front of staff.
Maitre d'.
The maitre d' is a elderly gnome, but very sprightly still, even though in his fair age. And he's just like, "Oh, Master Elenasu, yes, of course. If you could just give us, you have caught us quite unawares. If you could give us, we'll take some time to prepare the meal, but we can bring things out piecemeal. We can bring out beginning kind of snacks and starters and that sort of thing, and what's the word for like the little tiny foods?" What's that
Entree?
Canapé.
Canapes. No. We will have canapes before we serve up a full dinner. But we can certainly arrange small plates. Tapas is it's the Elvish word for But the entire gang is there. You have a squadron of Gusthaven guards, the guards outside, like for the Sky Prince. But the Sky Prince it seems like he's clarifying this as a sort of diplomatic meeting, but he's also using it as an excuse to get away from the palace and the nobles and things like that. And
business
it is a very rowdy. This is going to be expensive.
Lucius,
but it is beautiful. Like the table is laid out, and also this being Gusthaven, it's not like chandeliers hang from the ceiling. It is like floating magical lights that illuminate the place. The drapes are enchanted so that they kind of swoop out of the way to give you the best views. There is faint music that plays from some unseen force. Everything is perfectly, the perfect temperature. You are left and to have quiet conversation or loud conversation.
It's amazing. Cassidar's already here.
He is not here.
Lucius whispers once the staff member walks away after telling them that they're going to do their best. Lucius turns around and says, "I'm sorry, it's a little rundown. It's obviously not the best, but it's got that homely feel at least. Anyway, take a seat."
Like most of the others, I think everybody but the Sky Prince, Vala, and Max are like looking around this place like, holy crap, this is amazing. Your father, Nova, is like he's like examining, like there's all this beautiful art over the like the walls are covered in like portraits and landscapes, and he's like looking at one almost like with tears in his eyes, and it's like I don't believe they've got a genuine spring painting here by the water Ganassi spring. I can't believe it. It's genuine. And he's like examining it. He's like, it's real. I can't believe it. And he's just completely taken away that they have this painting that he obviously admires, and like he's just flabbergasted by. Your mum is sort of like examining the food, and like you can see she's like sniffing it and like tasting that little canapes, and like there's probably like some element of approval from your mum. She like looks over to you and she like gives you like a it's pretty good. Like she kind of
making notes for her cafe.
Yeah, like she probably is like she's probably like it's like looking around and like making notes and stuff.
I mean, considering the last place we had a proper sit-down meal, which was a centipede house that traveled across a swamp, I'd say this place is pretty good.
Nova's sister is like, sorry, what? And it's like, listen, like, tell me about this centipede house. What are you talking about?
It had a million legs. It traveled across a swamp. It stopped from time to time, and if you didn't catch it in time, it's gone. No meal for you.
Quill, did you tell her about the giant creepy hags on stilts that we had to kill before we got to the creepy, like, this is Thalia. I need to identify which NPC. Thalia jumps in and says, yeah, you should tell her about, and then your sister basically turns on Thalia. It's like, what? And Thalia begins sort of helping Quill tell the story of some of the stuff you got up to in the Feywild. Your sister's completely enamored, just like, oh, what? It sounds like the coolest thing ever, like completely taken by amazement for it. What is Sentry up to while this is going on?
I imagine while they were walking through Gusthaven, Sentry had like Petal up on her shoulders and was like shoulder carrying her through Gusthaven, like having a great time. Is
this like Sentry is like desperately wants Petal to do that? Because keep in mind, Petal is now like a 24-year-old woman. like Sentry's like just puts her up on there basically.
Just puts her up like old times, just like, yeah, let's go! Woo!
I think that like the rest of you, especially like Quill, like the rest of you see that she is a little embarrassed and it's like, oh yeah, that's great, Sentry, and it's like
we used to do this all the time.
I do, Sentry. It was a long time ago. Maybe you should like put me down, and like there's this kind of like awkward like she doesn't want to say no, but is clearly embarrassed by the way what Sentry's doing. But yeah, like, and you draw a crowd, like, as you're moving through, when you were on your way here, like, there is just a crowd of Gusthaven, because Gusthaven all knows who you are as well, not just the Sky Prince, but, like, you know, you are being watched by this crowd of people, and a few cheers and things like that. But yeah, Petal eventually manages to convince you to let her down, I would imagine. Like, she's just like, no, it's fine, Sentry, please put me down. But she does like remark on like the beautiful colors of like the mosaics and like the beautiful like clean air and things like that, and the way that Gusthaven uses plants to create these little gardens and stuff.
Is it smoggy in here? I have it cleaned. Sorry, everyone.
No, it is unbelievably clean in here. I don't know what you're seeing.
Well, I just thought it was a little run down is all. Daddy used to say that he just used to go here for his bulk buys.
Bulk buys, okay.
I think Adea would just be like, it's definitely not quite how Father painted it. It definitely seems
bit drab, isn't it?
It is a little drab. Like, even Adea agrees with Lucius. Like, but the rest of you can't imagine how on earth this could be drab. Like,
Gusthaven's slipping away, isn't it?
Well, it is wartime.
It is wartime. You're right.
We should give them some slack.
Say that for the prince.
Yeah, the prince just sort of like it's just like, well, how about you let me speak with them, Lucius? I will speak to them privately once we finish.
Oh no, not at all. Of course, we're all doing our own part, aren't we? And I understand that the budget is stretched thin in certain areas, displaced troops and all that. Yeah, you're doing the correct thing.
Right, of course. He just sort of smiles. You can take, I think, like, maybe, like, he probably walks past, like, Nova or, like, Quill, and probably just whispers something along the lines of, you can take the elf out of Gusthaven, but you can never quite take the Gusthaven out of the elf, after hearing Lucius's little remarks.
It's strange, like, when Adea's here and I'm in Gusthaven, I feel like I fall back into old habits.
No, I can't believe you would say that. No, it seems. I mean, you are a man changed, Lucius. You've gone on all these wonderful adventures. I don't imagine that you're the same man who left this place a long time ago. From what I have understood, you've changed quite a lot. But I think it's good to come home and to be amongst the familiar for a little bit of time. It's certainly good to see you. I have greatly missed all of you very much. And the Sky Prince sort of like nods his head. You will be pleased to know that things have been relatively quiet here. We heard there was some sort of attack on Horizon, but so far we seem to have been left alone. I don't believe that there's... I'm afraid things have been a little boring, I must say. Since everything... Not that that is a bad thing, given that everything that we went through before. I think a little bit of quiet, a bit of stability has been good for Gusthaven. But
yes, I wouldn't recommend the alternative to Horizon, nonetheless.
Indeed.
Lucius,
we are very
you should tell the Sky Prince about everything that's happened to us. Catch up with him. Spend all night talking to him.
I suppose. We've got a meal to eat as well. But we can fill you in on the summary of everything we've done, from the Feywild to visiting domains, the Titans. But you know about...
Please do, yes, of course. But also, there are so many people here to introduce me to, so many faces I am not familiar with. I know that some of the folk here assembled are part of your crew, and I certainly would gather by the familial appearance that some appear to be Miss Vija's family. But
yes, that's Miss Vija there and Mr. Vija. Say hello.
A pleasure to make your acquaintance. Your daughter, and like the Sky Prince goes over and he like takes your mum's hand. Your daughter has been an enormous part of Gusthaven. Without her, I fear that this city would not still be standing. She has my thanks, and my thanks to you as well. And your mum is just like, properly like taken back and is very sort of like thing. And your dad's like shaking his hand, just like, oh, thank you very much. No, we're very proud of her. Very proud of our girl. We are brilliant. And he's like, are all of the paintings here first? They're not replications, are they? They're real? And he's just like, oh yes. If you have a love of art, sir, the palace has a number of marvelous paintings and sculptures. You are more than welcome to come and see at any time. I know that you are staying here. You are more than welcome to come and visit any time. And your dad is just like completely amazed by all.
Yeah. I just really like that. I don't know. I love my dad.
Yeah, Thalia is like desperately trying to avoid talking to your family though. Like it's not like she doesn't want to, but like she's embarrassed and like she's like constantly trying to find other people. Like she probably catches up with some of the Stormchaser crew and Aerois and
Howard.
Yeah. Oh man, I forgot about Howard. Howard is just like the whole time just bubbling away. He's just like, oh hello, nice to meet you. Look at this place, is right all fancy, isn't it? Sentry, I haven't seen you in ages.
Howard, how you doing?
He says, hello there, and he's like, who's this lovely young lady with you? Hello, nice to meet you. My name's Howard. I'm the ship's cook.
Petal.
Hello, Petal.
My ward. He's the very reason I'm here.
Oh, well, lovely to meet you. I'm so glad. And yeah, Howard and Petal exchange grants. I am not going to do every single NPC instruction. However, if there are specific NPCs you want to talk to, you can do so. But otherwise, it will be an incredible big family dinner, basically, of like beautiful meal is pulled out. All sorts of sort of braised and steamed meats, grilled platters of vegetables, all sorts of like and it's beautiful, elegant food, but also comforting. It's kind of like really, really fancy bistro kind of pub food. So it's like hearty and warming, but also excellently made, beautifully cooked. Everything delivered to an absolute fine level of quality. I don't really know a lot about food, so I'm not going to try and make up what all the different meals are, but it's just really delicious and nice. Probably no bugs for Quill. But there are like corn meals and things like that, like seedy kind of like things that you can eat away at, vegetables, fruits.
Sesame
corn on the cob and corn off the cob? This place is a luxury.
Yes, very much that.
Cobbler's corn.
Yeah. Cobbler's corn, yeah. But yeah.
Well, that was a little tasteless.
sake, this guy. Ugh.
Can we?
Just what, like, also, like, I've described this as like one of the best places in Gusthaven. What was life like at the Elenasto mansion?
It wasn't
Yeah.
nearly that good.
He ate like gold encrusted quail.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Amuse bushes,
yeah.
reduction of buff, and all that.
I think Lucius has a bit of rose-tinted nostalgia.
Yeah.
Also wine, if anybody wishes to partake of them alcohols, very much this is the kind of place where you can
tanked.
I think
Quinn, you're two.
there are definitely certain NPCs when, like, and I'm assuming, by the way, that the NPCs have all believed that you are all paying for this. So, like, there are certain NPCs, like Aerois is like, finest bottle of wine, finest bottle of whiskey, both of them, please. And like,
Incredible.
she's like got both of them and is like drinking both. Howard's just like, oh, I'll have some of that, Captain. Thank you very much, first mate. And he's like happily helping himself to the wine and like beautiful or aged whiskey and like, you know, distilled gin with fruits and things like that. Like, a couple of the crew are definitely like helping themselves. Nova, I don't know
man.
about your family. I imagine your mum would probably enjoy like a really nice wine, but
Snifter, like,
yeah, but
Snifter of
it's probably
whiskey.
enough, right? Because of the whole like Asian, like she has one glass. And
Yeah.
it's just, like,
Woo!
woo!
Red.
Yeah, she's like bright purple red. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want, like, I think after the meal, like, as we're all like mingling and stuff like that.
Yeah, like
Nova
you have the run of
hasn't.
the place.
Yeah, Nova hasn't been drinking. She's been drinking a lot of sugar cordial, like, so she's hopped up on sugar. But yeah, she kind of awkwardly shuffles over and is like, "Mother, father,
Hello, sweetheart. Yes.
this is my Thalia Whisperwind. She's a princess from the Feywild."
You hear in the distance, Lucius is like, shut the hell up, shut the hell up. And he just like sits and stares.
You're shushing everybody, so the
Everyone
whole
on my side
table
of the
goes
table is like,
quiet.
stop talking
and
to me.
everybody looks at Thingy at this happening. Your mom's just like,
We met her out in space, and she brought us home. She has a spaceship called the Twin Star Longbow, and
the Twink Star.
Twin Star. Mother.
What? That's what I thought you said. She brought you back from out there.
Yep.
And like
She's my girlfriend.
Okay, at that, like your dad's eyes go wide. Your sister's just like, oh. And your mum sort of like looks at Thalia quite suddenly, like I think the whole table goes quiet because they sense this moment of like your mum like staring at Thalia, and your dad's like he's holding back tears, like he's just, like, he's trying not to cry, but your mum like looks her up and down, and Thalia, I'm gonna roll a dice, okay, your Thalia kind of looks at her and tries to like keep her gaze, and then very politely she just really like deeply bows her head and she just says, Miss Vija, I'm so honored to meet you. It's a genuine pleasure. I hope it's all right what Nova's just said. But yes, I'm really glad I could meet you. And your mum sort of looks her up and down, is like, you brought her back from wherever she went off, and she just stands up and just hugs Thalia and like pulls her in. It's just like, thank you for bringing my girl home, and like definitely like kind of just like very grateful. And then she whispers something in Thalia's ear that only Quill hears, which is, if you break her heart, I know many ways to cut things, or something along those lines. Like, I have a lot of experience in knives. If you break her heart, but only Quill hears that.
Oh my.
That sounds like what my mum said to Ted at the wedding.
It's kind of, I am trying to base this a little bit more on your like the kind of things I imagine that your mum might have said to boyfriends or girlfriends in Kim's life, perhaps one or two times.
It's right. It is very accurate. My mum is very good with a cleaver.
Yeah, exactly. That's because she's a baker and a chef, right? So like your mum knows her way around the kitchen utensils. And Thalia just sort of like grins and smiles, and it's just like, you don't have to worry about that. And I think if anything, she's probably
Because I'll defend myself.
I've got
If
a
anything,
ship.
she's had plenty of opportunity to break mine, and she hasn't. So, and yeah, and then I think that she probably gets pulled into a corner. You also get sat down immediately next to your mother. Like, she makes Faith get up, who had been sat next to him, and she's like, you go over there. And she just sits you down, and it's like, tell me everything. And, like, your dad comes over and he like hugs you both, and he hugs Thalia. And yeah, they're just happy to meet her and like start trying to get to know her.
Lucius is sobbing and taking other people's napkins and stuff to like wipe his tears. And also he's trying to make eye contact with Nova while she's getting grilled by her mum.
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys can catch each other's eyes, yeah.
And he just subtly points at the balcony on the other side that overlooks Gusthaven.
She's just mouthing back like, "What? Why are you pointing at? Why?"
And he does a gesture of putting a ring on it.
Oh my god!
No.
Okay.
For podcast listeners,
We're in a fine dining establishment.
One of his hands was the ring. There was a finger going into it.
On the balcony.
Let me just make some rolls for perception rolls for some of the other NPCs.
You just see Nova's mouth just drop open like, what? What?
Okay. Out of everybody, Quill kind of clocks it. Like, no, everybody else is involved in conversation. Quill, you clock it. Also, Howard, like, you hear Howard, like, stop on his drink. He's just like, he just, like, looks panicked between Nova and Lucius, like,
Yes.
I was like, right, in my head, I was like, right, in his direction. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, I've got a headache. I'm laughing too much.
Orion's like, are you okay? And Howard's just like, go. He's just like looking wide-eyed.
Lucius, no, Lucius. No.
What? What's the matter?
No, don't do that again.
Don't stand in the way of love.
That's not what you're suggesting, Lucius. I know what you're trying to say.
Yes, we get married.
That's not what you did. It's not what you did.
Adea looks at you, Lucius. Is like, brother, how long have they been sort of together?
It feels like years. Next question.
Okay, I know what it feels like. How, very specifically, how literally long has it been?
Long enough, sister. Come on.
Okay.
They're meant for each other. It's destiny intertwined. The Nexus determined it.
I know, Nanny.
In every reality
Nanny,
we've seen, they are together.
I know you read, Nanny. We used to read you all the fairy tale books about true love and princes and princes and princesses and princes and
yes, and I'm
all
seeing
of that.
it. We're witnessing it.
Yeah, those are stories, Lucius. You can't just marry the first man or woman who comes into your life in that way. You have to see how things go. You have to play it out and things.
I'm letting them just naturally fall into marriage on that balcony tonight so that I can see it, sister. That's all. Just a gentle nudge from a dear friend.
Is this because you don't have that special someone? Is this what this is? You want it for them because you're looking for it? Is that the sort of thing?
What? Don't be absurd, sister. We're fine on our own, aren't we? Huh? You don't have...
Why are you assuming who said I'm on my own? She kind of looks at you offended.
What?
Like,
oh, yes. Sorry.
You did did remember what I was doing the night everything happened.
I do, yes. I forgot about that.
That's fine, but we don't need to be alone, Lucius. And she kind of looks and she's like, I think that you might be surprised at how many people might be interested in yourself as well. And she glances at Faith and Prince Aradan. Like she kind of like glances at
I'm
both
next
of
to
them.
Lucius like,
Come on. Well, we know that ship will never sail.
No, you're destined for
done.
Max's waters.
Yeah, well, it sounds like there's a love triangle between Sentry, Max, and Quill at the moment. It sounds like
Fight.
At this, oh my god.
Yeah. You could.
At this,
You
at
don't know
this
what
point,
Max is into.
there's a slight gust behind
The
Lucius.
whole bloody city of it's Gusthaven.
And yeah, thanks. And then a tap on his shoulder, and if you turn around, Tiangong is there, just right up in your face. Lucius, Virian Elwin Elenasto.
Yes.
Nova Vija has requested that you cease and desist with the lewd gestures.
Lewd? What do you mean? What? I don't understand. And he starts doing the gesture again.
Exactly.
But the thing is now Tiangong has like spoken, everybody's looking, and you do the gesture, and like a bunch of people
What's
are like,
wrong with this?
What? Stop it! Stop it!
Lucius!
Valerie's like, hold it, like Valerie's like trying not to look. Max is like how dare
Oh my god, Lucius is going to die tonight.
Sorry, I didn't know what...
The Sky Prince is bright fucking red. Faith is fucking bright red. Everybody's just like looking at Lucius like shocked. Araya is pissing herself laughing. She's just like, ah!
Probably Ayla as well. Like
Yeah,
Araya and
as well.
Ayla
It's
just like...
yeah, they're just laughing.
The utter naivety of Lucius, like, but now all attention is on him. He is going beet red as well. I didn't mean to. What did I do? Sorry.
I think that like who's the most likely? I think like
Lancian.
I was trying to think of like probably Lookout, because Lookout's incredibly blunt. I think Lookout would probably say something like, perhaps it would be better if you do not imply suggested sexual intercourse over dinner, Lucius. Captain Lucius.
He chokes.
Yeah. And then, but I think also like there's this beat, and then everybody at the table just laughs. Like there is this kind of like everybody just kind of snickers or giggles, and it just breaks into a more sort of like general sort of like amongst the NPCs, they all sort of like have a bit of a laugh.
Lucius like
embarrassment
cowers and hunches and tries to hide behind a plate.
Are we having a plate? Oh, I'll have one.
And scene.
And scene. That's probably the point where I'd be like, yeah, the rest of the dinner continues. But if there's things you want to talk about or things afterwards, but yeah, I think that perfect.
Yeah, but when everyone is ordering, like, oh, I'll have a 7th glass of wine, I've got the miniature chest in front of me, and I'm just like,
Yeah, eventually, cool. As the evening winds down, the gnome does come over and is like whispering to Lucius, and he's like, "How will Sir be settling the bill this evening?"
Very funny.
Sorry, that's me. I'm settling the bill on this one.
Right. Very well. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Keelek, wasn't it? For the evening and the I specialize in versing in many languages. For the evening, for the food, the drink, and the exclusive use of the space, we would be looking at approximately 300 gold for the evening.
Honestly, not as bad as I thought.
He's like, well, I'm very pleased to hear that. Obviously, that does for those individuals. For those individuals who do wish to remain here, who don't perhaps feel that they are capable of returning to wherever they are staying, we also have rooms available here as well, which are included in the price.
Is that so? Lucius just stares at Nova.
Okay, I think at this point, like most people, are like, Lucius, we told you.
Sorry, I know I'm so naughty.
When he said
he said like one glass of wine.
I have had a lot by this point.
Sherry.
Sherry.
When he said all the people who can't make it back, can I look around the room and see who that would be?
Yeah, there's definitely a few. Like, Aria's definitely not getting back to the ship tonight. Like, Aria's just like boots on the table. Like, she's taken her boots off. Her feet are on a table. She's got like, she's nursing a bottle like a baby, and then she's got the other one just, just like very happy drunk, smiling happy drunk. Like, Howard's probably not in a very good state to go back.
He's crying in a corner somewhere.
Yeah, like I think like there's definitely enough people that like and they've said that there's enough rooms for everybody if they need them. So
okay, well I mean let's see, 1 gold, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shall I just count this all out? Give me some time. 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, I think 300 gold would be right, because it'd be about 10 gold per person based on the amount of food, the amount of drink, and the room. You've got about 20 people there, plus the use of the space for about 100. Yeah, I think about 300 is about right. Plus, you've got the Sky Prince with you. They're not going to nickel and dime you. So,
Oh, a platinum piece. 20.
nice.
He's
right,
only 2.
Quill eventually pays the man, and he's
299 and 300. And you know what? For abiding with me for all this time, a tip. 1.
How much tip you give him?
Oh, a good 10%. 330.
30
let's
gold.
call it.
30
Nice.
gold
Just
tip.
take a handful of gold and just like you haven't got to do like just give. There you go. There you go. Just
So so he gives 330, and then Sentry just grabs a handful and gives
Sentry!
it to him as well.
Sentry, for the records, I've got no idea how much you just... Give it all back. Give it all back.
you need to count that
Chunk of plate.
slowly.
I do need to count it for the records. I need to have a proper, accurate reading. I'm quartermaster of this shit.
Look.
1.
He's been working all night. Just look, he's the. He deserves. Look, they all deserve it.
Not that much.
He kind of,
Wow.
The little gnome looks a bit sad when you say that, but he doesn't
Aw.
say anything.
Sentry gave you like 500 gold.
It
Reasonable.
wasn't. She didn't give him 500 gold.
She slapped the bottom of the chest and loads came out.
It's like a big
I've got
a ruby the size
16,000
of
in
a man's fist. A ruby just clatters down. He's like, oh, I'll have that.
I cast enlarge, and then I have my hand gets bigger.
Yeah. If you had made yourself big and then done it, yeah, then it's
Yeah.
like 500 gold.
250, 251.
Nice.
Done.
Right.
330, as agreed.
Thank you very much, sir.
Actually, have another 5, then we can call it even. I've got an even 16,000.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you. I think also like quite a few. Some of the like the Sky Prince will probably also like put in a small amount as well, as just as sort of thank you. And yeah, but yeah, you guys have a very lovely evening. You get updated by the Sky Prince, but eventually it just becomes more of a social thing, and you have this very lovely evening of just moments. And especially for Thalia and Nova, like there is this deeper sense of kinship and closeness. Is like Thalia, especially I think Thalia would get on very well with your sister, especially. They have this same sort of like adventurous nature, and like it's quite a, you know, there's a bit of a worry, but they seem to get on very well. Your dad finds her stories a little bit too terrifying. like he's just like panics every time she starts telling a story about some of her adventures and things like that. But yeah, I think it's a good moment for sure.
Yeah.
Lucius has a second glass, and by that point, he's probably near Sentry and Quill, and is going through the motions of like sitting back and be like, "This is wonderful. Look how happy." Everyone's so wonderful, and I haven't been this happy in a long time.
This is really nice. This is a good idea. This is really good.
It was a nice eat. How many drinks how many have you had?
Like 2.
Sentry's not had any, and Sentry's like crying next to him.
I can't believe we get to do this again. It's just so nice. And Petal's here, and you're all here.
Howard comes over. I know he's just so lovely, and it's so nice. Come on in. Just like wraps his little halfling hands around, climbs up onto Sentry into a lap, and just gives her a hug.
Give me a big hug with arms around everyone. This is so
I don't understand
nice.
how you guys consistently get so emotional at events like this. Hug me.
Tiangong just wanders over. Why is everyone crying?
Get over here, Tascar.
We are not.
Gets pulled into a hug.
There. Just awkward pat.
Is that actually physical? Like I can't remember. Is that a physical manifestation?
Yeah. It's a person. Like they are there.
Made out of stars and nebulas, but there is a weight to it.
Tangog, tell me, it's never proposed yet.
pardon you, Lucius, Virion, Elwyn, and Elenasto. It is difficult to understand what you are trying to communicate.
That eternal bonding, you know. I know you're going to be together forever anyway, but the ceremony and the rings, had she done it on the balcony yet?
Nova Vija has been nowhere near the balcony, no.
Okay.
I think at this point, probably Faith is like trying to like pat Lucius on the back, like, let it go, Lucius.
I just want everyone to be happy.
They are happy. They are happy, Lucius. It's fine. They don't need a wedding to be happy.
We can assure you that Nova Vija is experiencing great emotion at this moment in time.
That's good. Hopefully happy ones.
Immense happiness.
Oh, that's so nice.
It's nice to hear it, isn't it, They're having such a good time.
She is incredibly proud to have relationships with you all.
Oh, stop it!
I can't handle it. Thank you, Tassadar, for keeping us safe.
Our name is not Tassadar. Our designation is Tiangong.
Sorry, I've had a glass.
She just poured it down like a neck cap, just like
Soaking into the roots.
into the roots. Yeah.
My roots are soaking it in. It's so nice.
Humanoids are curious creations.
Ayla's just like, you're telling me, spaceman. Just like stood next to Tassadar Tiangong. I'm calling him Tassadar now.
This is incredibly rude and demeaning.
We're almost there. We are almost there. Tassadar is almost at this party. He's almost
He's
convinced.
not.
You'll just
He's
manifest.
not. You're lucky Callus isn't here.
Jesus.
This is so nice.
We were meant to open
drunk
communications
sending.
with him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Starbane just needs to get drunk, brah. Like, that's all he needs. Just
That's
needs to
it.
get drunk, have some broskies. It's all good.
Nice. Unless there is anything else, the night will pass.
Yep.
Yep. I think that there is, some people do head back. There is a sort of a few people begin making their way back to where they're staying in Gusthaven. They begin making their way back up to the rooms. I think the Sky Prince will sort of have a sort of lingering goodbye with Lucius, where sort of like he, is being very prim and proper, but it's a very sort of like, doesn't want to go kind of goodbye of just like, well, thank you very much for the lovely evening, Lucius. I hope
Yes.
that you'll come back again soon. And
Just be wonderful. And he just he embraces Prince
he's like, are you all right? Are you, Lucius? It's fine.
I've
It's just
always
sort of-
looked up to you as I'm sorry.
No, please, Lucius. No, I think if anybody has to look up to anybody, it's me to you. You've done so much for the city, and
I can't believe I did this in front of everyone.
I must admit it was a little funny. And he does sort of like grin at you, like a cheeky grin, like I can't believe you did that. That was very. Anyway, it's
I
wonderful
think I
to
need
see
to
you.
lie down.
I think you should too. And he will sort of like hug, but it's that like holds for a second too long and then puts you at sort of arm's length and then just sort of bows his head and leaves. And he will make his way out. But definitely there's like, as he gets to the door, he does the look back and then he leaves.
Ooh, I
Lucius
see
is
that.
just
I'm
doing
fanning
this
my
to
face.
himself. the finger gesture.
You're trying to figure out what it means.
No,
Yeah.
because Quill'd be like, what? I don't get it. That's not a cloaca.
Elves, isn't it? Oh.
He's a birdman. Think about it.
Oh god.
He's not got his feathers and his wings up, doing a little dance.
That's why when Lucius went full rainbow, I was like, ooh, damn.
I was bobbing his head.
Oh my god.
I don't think we should be doing this episode.
I think
It hurts.
No, I think this is the perfect episode we needed. I am gutted Katie has missed this. Like, fuck me. Right. So, long rests. All round. Long rest all round.
Yay.
Oh, you're
You
exhausted.
can get rid of that second exhaustion. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, you
There
make
you
this
go.
entire
Free.
party slightly exhausted.
Yeah.
That's why she got drunk so easily.
That's the delirium.
That's it, yeah. And yeah, you guys wake up. Things are as good as they can be, and you can easily head back to Horizon. Teleportation circles, the Stormchaser can take you back. All of that stuff is all good. Anything
Amazing.
else? Lovely,
with that.
lovely RP moment.
That's what Lucius wanted to do, and it is
Yeah.
fulfilled.
That took up the entire second half of the episode. What does anyone else want to do?
We've got a few minutes left. If like eyes
I leave
or
it to
like
the table.
checked, yeah.
I mean, sure, I'll have a cursory glance through the Wayfinder's Guide. Let's get back on track a little, and I'll try and discover some route to the 10th circle of magic.
Are you casting
I know the
Legend
answer.
Lore?
Legend Lore. Costs 5 charges on the Wayfinder's Guide.
All right. Name or describe a person, place, or object. The spell brings you to your mind a brief summary of the significant lore about the thing you named. The lore might consist of current tales, forgotten stories, or even secret lore that has never been widely known. If the thing you named isn't of legendary importance, you gain no information. The more information you already have about the thing, the more precise and detailed the information you receive is. So yeah, you need to name or describe a place, person, or object.
Could I describe, even though I've only got the ashes of it, or the dust of it, could I describe that spell scroll?
You could, if you knew more about the scroll, that would help. You will probably get more information out of it if you did, because right now you literally only have a secondhand description by Valor and the dust. But if you knew a bit more about like what it was or things like that, then that might help as well. Or you could just try it as is.
At risk of asking the "is it worth" question, is it worth taking it to Azaria Perel and saying like, "Hey, got the
That's what
dusties
you-
here.
That's up to you.
Can you restore dust?" Is that something you can do?
If you actually go and speak to her, yeah, like if you take the time to go and investigate with Azaria. Azaria is continuing her work on doing things like upgrading the Stormchaser, working on studying Horizon's engines. But yeah, she will definitely take a great interest in this scroll. And when you begin explaining that it's this 10th circle of magic, she turns on you, this black veil covering her pale elven face. And she's just like, really? The 10th circle? Quite
Essentially.
impressive. Well, let us examine it. And she takes the dust, she casts a few, she places it on like an apparatus, like on a workbench. She casts a few spells, drawing in some objects, and immediately she's like, oh my goodness. Yes, this is indeed.
Are you
Never
able to
before
restore...
have I seen magic. No. As knowledgeable in magic as I am, this is far beyond my ability to restore it. But I can certainly give you more information about it itself. This was a scroll of the gate spell, normally used to conjure portals between planar realms. It can be used to call forth specific planar creatures as well. If you speak the true name of a demon or an angel or a devil, they will actually come through the portal. It will open directly to them and they will be summoned through it. This scroll has been made by a creature capable of transcending the limits of magical power. Whoever crafted this, whoever inscribed this, had access to more than just a 10th circle of magic. I believe that they have even more power.
Oh, even
But it was
beyond
created
10.
by them. Likely to create an object of this nature would require vast amounts of Ethereum or residuum, other magical substances that would cost. This must have cost hundreds, perhaps 200, perhaps millions of gold to craft, to create this. Or if they had access to some incredibly powerful magical reagent, we are talking something immensely powerful. something that contained vast stores of magical energy used in place to create this. I can't recreate it exactly, but I could constitute a sort of a simulacrum of itself. It wouldn't have the same power. It wouldn't even be a functioning scroll, but if you were to use your divinatory powers upon it, it should aid you in learning more about it.
That would be incredible, but out of interest, the resource cost of this, if someone did have access to those resources, and clearly they had, how long would it take to create something like this?
Normally, months, years, perhaps. But I have a feeling that whoever created this did not spend so much time, which means that they have a way of bypassing the time required to create such a thing as well. I can imagine that even for a being that has transcended the powers of magic, it is one thing to cast a spell that has such power, to inscribe it upon an object that another could use. That would be costly. I imagine that whoever did it would require significant time to regain that energy spent.
Perfect. That is exactly what I needed to hear. We need to figure out some kind of defense against this, and unfortunately that might mean transcending that level of magic ourselves, but I don't know how.
Preventing this gate ability would be difficult, yes. I do believe that, having examined the remnants of the draconic corpses, as well as what was recovered in the war room and your own descriptions, I believe I can fashion a way that can prevent the anti-teleportation field from being established around Horizon. I will not be able to put that device on anything smaller than the Sky City. It will require node points spread throughout the city walls to erect a sort of disruption if a similar barrier is created. But I don't believe there is any power that you, I, Danica, I don't believe that any of us have the power to prevent this spell from being activated. Incidentally, if it was a simulacrum that used it, there was a significant chance that the simulacrum could have destroyed this scroll without the effect ever taking place. Being able to cast magic that one does not have the capacity to use yourself is dangerous. There is a risk that it could backfire, it could be misused. So I think that it is unlikely that an agent who is not capable of using this level of power to strike again. This was a gamble. This was a significant risk on whoever. Well, we know who it was, but on the individual involved.
Okay, so even if it takes months for them to be able to recreate anything like this, there's still a chance it won't even work.
Unless they are the caster themselves. The one who created this would be able to use this without error. But if they gave it to someone else, as this was the case, they provided it to their simulacrum.
Okay. A version of this scroll, as it was before it crumbled, would be very useful to find out more about it. And
yes,
I'll do what I can to try and tap into some route into this thing. And if I discover anything, I'll let you know. But
thank you. Yes, I must admit, I thought that the Ninth Circle was a limitation. I thought that there was no possible way to bypass it. This has awakened immense possibilities.
Oh, good.
Do let your guardian friend know that I would still be deeply interested in examining their core, their matrix. They keep avoiding me for some reason.
Azaria, I'm going to come clean, and I don't want you to take this the wrong way. Sometimes you come across as a little creepy.
I have been informed of this before, and it delights me to know that others find me unsettling is quite wonderful, really. I don't generally enjoy the company of others. I find smaller minds to be irritating and frustrating. So often I like to intimidate them into avoiding me. But I have no ill intentions with your friend, if that is what you require. If I had wished, I would have joined forces with this Sarkira long ago. But I am not one to I do not wish to follow in the footsteps of another. I carve my own path. If there is a 10th circle of magic available, I will find my own way to access it. I do not need some ill-begotten, hungry, ravenous red star to provide me with such power. I will find it myself.
Perfect. Great. Amazing.
So you will tell your friend to come and let me examine them then, there, yes?
Yeah.
Excellent. I must admit, you are quite curious as well. And she reaches out with like a pale hand from like her black funerary robes and like strokes the side of your face with the eye. I would love to examine this at some point. This potent source of divine magic and your book. And she like reaches for your satchel, like this wondrous book.
No, that's you're gonna get what you get. Nothing more. Bye, Aerois.
It flies away. But yeah, she will eventually, like a day later, a sort of non-functioning replica of the scroll is created. It's blank, but it is like basically what the scroll would have looked like, but it doesn't have any of the spell itself on there. But it should work for legend lore. It will certainly help, clarify. Cool.
Well, I'll let Nova know because I know that she was interested in finding out about the scroll as well.
Mm-hmm.
Nova, I spoke to Azaria, and I mean, it's not the spell.
Creepy?
Very, very. She stroked my eye. Anyway, I got a scroll, or at least a powerless version of the scroll that was used to cast this 10th level spell. So,
Gimme.
I might be able to use this. Do you want me to open the book in front of you, and you can also
I want to
read
look
over
at
my shoulder? Or...
Let me look at it.
The scroll
It's
or the
been
book?
ages since I've had a good mystery. Let me look at it. Let me look at the scroll. I want to read the scroll.
Okay, take the scroll. There it is. I mean, be careful with it. It's basically made of snow.
It's also blank. It's like completely blank. There's no actual formula or magical incantation on it. It's just like the physical scroll itself has been restored, but the magic is gone.
So the problem with this is, did she write on it with invisible ink, or did she just forget to write on it?
No. That is the kind of the scroll restored just without any of the magic.
Right.
And I can use this as a component to ask the book.
Let's do it. I want to do it.
Great. Perfect. Can I legend lore now?
Yeah. So you name the 10th level gate scroll as like the object, basically.
Pretty much.
And the book shows... Let me think for a minute. The book begins to tell the tale of, because it's always done in this way, it shows you a story version of like the legend, right? The tale of the desperate scholar is what it's called. And you see a mage who looks very much like Zarkira speaking to an infinite blackness with a tiny red dot. You see the mage traveling across multiple worlds, finding they travel and visit places. They visit like ancient ruins, they visit ancient abandoned laboratories, and meanwhile there's this red dot that leaks words and information, not anything you can read, but like cryptic messages are flowing into the woman from this red star as she visits all these different places. And as she does, every time she finds something there, she seems to grow more powerful in magic. You can see like her eyes glow. You can see that like there's almost like a pattern across her body that begins to spread as if she's gaining more and more power, being led from place to place. And every world that she visits, each step of the journey, the world becomes more deteriorated, broken, abandoned, barren, until eventually she stands on a lifeless moon, staring up at what appears to be a rip in space. And around that rip are walls of flesh and tentacles and mouths kind of all around the edges of the page, and she stands before it prostrated on her knees looking up, and the red star just whispers more of this nonsense to her, and then the last thing you see is her eyes. The last page is her eyes now are like red snake's eyes. They're like red reptilian eyes with like a black slit down the middle, but completely replacing her previous humanoid eyes. And the message of the story is that it seems to be that Zarkira gained this power by traveling to many ancient, lost, abandoned worlds across the galaxy, and has taken ancient magical knowledge and with the help of Hadar, with Hadar to help unlock it, has mastered spells beyond 9th level.
The end. And that's the that's the story. Nova, what do you think? Not a fan, to be honest, of that one.
Nova looks at Quill and she is pale, like almost white. Like just remembering the time when she saw visions of Hadar and seeing this kind of unfurl. Like, I feel like she's become almost a living avatar of Hadar. She's free to walk this world, but she has his power. That's terrifying.
Yeah, I think... Well, I mean, I think we need to find some way of stopping this sooner rather than later. If she's able to break through any ward that we can place or get to us anywhere we are at any time and conjure any amount of forces that she desires.
One thing that's not clear from the legend lore, Quill, just to kind of alleviate, because I don't want you guys like being super paranoid. You're not sure if that story has happened or is happening, right? That could be like still ongoing to this point, but yeah, it gives you the idea of like how she has found this power. If she had the power to just walk in and do what she wanted, she probably would have attacked you by now. So there's clearly something there.
Oh, still, I mean, even if she gains that much power and then it's just like snaps her fingers and bam, there she is with her massive army of demons and stuff. Like,
yeah,
oh, okay.
I mean, that's definitely still, yeah. Eventually, that is a threat. Yes.
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of the Guardian, the one that originally had my mother's name. I will not associate the two. But he gained his power from taking energy from living beings. She is taking her power and growing stronger from taking it from entire planets.
Yeah. But I mean, at least it answers the question. We know vaguely what she looks like now, what's happened to her, the deal that she's made. However, we should let everyone else know.
Yeah.
Oh, but Azaria did mention that the scroll... Oh, actually, no. She mentioned that if a simulacrum tries to use the scroll, then it would potentially crumble and not work. However, she's out of simulacrums. If she tries to cast it herself, it will probably succeed. So, if she tries to conjure some other spell... we probably need to find out what her plan is and get ahead of it at some point.
It's probably the eventual heat death of the universe, Quill.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yep.
We'll leave that out when we mention this to everyone else.
Oh, okay. I'll blurt it out by accident anyway, but yes.
You will.
I will, yeah.
Well, this terrible foretelling of doom is the perfect time to end the episode.
Yay.
Lovely family meal, followed by... Oh, fuck, Zarkira's scary now.
Yeah.
She was always scary. Scarier.
She's way scarier now. Yeah.
Amazing.
Damn. God damn.
What an
There you go.
episode.
Very funny.
Man, that went places.
It did.
Yeah.
We went everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
I was thinking, like, what are we going to tell to Katie, like, to catch her up? And I was just like, before this last bit happened, I was like, we just shipped a lot. We just did a lot of shipping. It was the episode of shipping. It was,
Big meal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
It's basically, fuck, what do we do about Starbane? Nothing for now. Yep, sounds good. Still
Time to
after Titan's Den.
party.
Yeah,
Yeah,
party on
let's
down,
go.
bro.
Have a party.
Calm before
Basically
the
what
storm.
happened.
Yeah, we just got attacked in Horizon. Let's get every valuable NPC in one place.
One place.
Yeah.
Get drunk.
Get drunk and have a meal.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, but surely immediately after they've attacked is the perfect time to do it,
It
because
is.
that's what they'll expect
At
least.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a
Got
good
him.
one. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much needed.
That's
Lovely.
fun.
I mean, also,
my
after
stomach
2 weeks
hurts.
away,
Yeah.
needed it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's kind of a good catch up of like just going back over some of the stuff that happened and things like that. And I know that like, yeah, Katie definitely has some stuff as Ayla of like coin did the thing. But we'll catch up on that next week. Also, probably next week, I will try and have the next stuff of the Titans to go down as well. So not immediately we'll jump into a fight next week, but like that will probably be the next thing that Valor is like, hey, I've got this thing now. Do we want to go and do it?
Yeah.
Or which one do you want to do? It's probably going to be the bigger sort of discussion.
I think all at the same time.
Yeah.
Split the party.
Split the party and do all of them.
No, just bring them all together. Join their party against us. Titan, like
I
6,
see.
7 Titans.
3
against us.
Titans versus all of you guys. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Like Civil
Alright.
War or something, yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Be Hawkeye.
Tommy, anything to read out?
There is. We had a donation from the Unknown Depth that says, "Howdy, High Rollers, Mark, Ree, Trot, Kim, and Tom. Found out about y'all in the special with Oxventure and listened to all of Aerois through podcast. My first live show, and I want to thank y'all for being yourselves. I fully learned D&D thanks to you. Amazing. Well,
nice.
done,
Thank
Unknown
you.
Depth.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. S. Poffington has donated with, "Hi again. I'm at episode 116. Nova and Thalia have yet to kiss. I want to say thanks to y'all." Why do we have so many donations with y'all in, by the way? I've just noticed that.
Y'all is great. Y'all is a
Y'all.
great gender neutral term to refer to
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah, so is
Hey,
you,
y'all.
though.
So friendly. I like it.
Anyway, I've just noticed it. For keeping my spirits up for last week mainly. After receiving some pretty shit news and having to revise for mocks, High Rollers has really helped. Well, thank you very much, S. Poffington, for that message. Nightjar has donated with happy belated birthdays to Mark and Ree, and also Viz T and Crispy. Hope everyone else is staying safe as well as they can be. Amazing.
Happy
Thank you.
birthday!
Happy birthday, Viz T and Crispy.
Happy birthday.
Echo Jewel has donated again with "or not, dang internet being a bitch today." I think that was in relation to catching live for the first time.
Bugger.
Looks like it's VOD Squad for me. Have fun and roll high. Oh, before I forget, just so I don't waste letters, where on your characters is Ayla's tartan? TTYL and Clear Skies from Georgia. On Quill's
I know
belt, I
Nova's
think.
is tied into the scarf, right?
Yeah, tied into the scarf.
Yeah.
Anyone
Hers
else?
is on
I
her
believe-
Majesty's rose.
I think Lucius put it in like a pocket on his like front.
Like a handkerchief, isn't it?
Yeah, more like a handkerchief pocket. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quills is
Nice,
on
there
the
you go.
belt.
It's on the belt, yeah. I think. Pretty sure. I think it's in the art, actually. Or is it? I don't know. Maybe. Lobin of Roxley has donated with
Nice.
first time escaping the VOD Squad in over a year. Wanted to celebrate with a small dono. Thanks for all you do. And at Kim, I loved seeing you on O&O with 3 black halflings.
Oh,
Hey.
awesome. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I had a lot of fun with them.
Good
Natalie June Hawthorne has donated with previously on the Non-Stop Sunshine crew. They jump off of Mount Celestia, land in Nessus, confront Asmodeus, push him through a prismatic wall, kill his avatar, claim Zariel's contract, get the key to his vault, and steal the Pact Primeval. Next time, nap. There you go.
Next time.
Thank you.
Nice.
Bayfeather has donated with, "Hey guys, I'm going to be running a session 0 for a new group as my first time as a DM. You guys inspired me to start playing D&D in the first place, and I'm super excited to try running my own game now. Best of
Awesome.
luck,
Nice.
Good luck.
Bayfeather."
Have a great time.
Yeah. IR Jenden Maxter has donated with best pairs in the series: Lucius and Faith, Nova and Thalia, Sentry and Max, and of course Quill and this one succubus that disguised herself as the literal hot chick.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Shadow Dax 96 with a quarter hundo. Stopping by for a sec. I just recently watched episode 87, and Kim's explanation of her loss was very touching, as I recently lost my mother-in-law. I deeply admire and thank you all for what you do. I hope you all roll high and have fun.
And I hope you're okay.
Thank you very much.
I am a robot 012C with a full ass Hundaroony.
Good lord.
There I was in a car thinking I'm not going to get to watch High Rollers tonight. Then I remembered I could use my infinite data on my phone to watch you till I got home. Hooray for me, and hope you get the studio up and running in March. Clear skies. I thought that was going to turn into like an EE ad or something.
Yeah.
Toxic
So
Punk
I purposely
Witch.
crashed the car so I could watch while I wait for the tow truck to arrive.
Toxic Punk Witch has donated with been rewatching Aerois with my pseudo bearded dragon for a couple of months. Thanks to each of you for the wonderful storytelling and more laughs than I could ever hope for in my real life. By the way, always ripping a fat vape with Tom. I don't want that to be a thing, like a personality thing. Like, hey, there's Tom.